swear the chicks is thicker. Reppin' for the team, that's the bench of Houston sippers. She don't want your liquor, she don't want your chipper. She poppin' for a legend, that's a real massa flipper. This is for la raza, this is for la raza. I'm in my trap, casa whipping up the damn massa.
All right, so it's back to school time, and we have this idea. We want to hook people up with $100 gift cards that, you know, can be used for school supplies or
so
clothes.
Expensive, these things, man.
Could be used for anything, right, Rob?
Anything.
$100 gift card we want to give away. All you're going to have to do is download a free book. That's it. On Audible, on audible.com. You don't have to buy anything, no purchase necessary. So you just show us proof that you used how does this work?
Yeah, our link. So if you look in the description of this podcast, it's in there. It's What Did He Said. It's Audible Trial / What Did He Said. And send us a screenshot of the book you chose, 1, 2, why you chose it, and 3, the email that you used to actually get that book so that we can go through and put those in the random generator. We can pick one every week.
Perfect. So
and
that's how
do we have end at the end of the month?
Yeah.
It'll end at the end of the month.
Correct.
So
so this is limited time only, but we're hooking people up. How often are we giving out one of these $100 gift cards?
I was thinking one a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every Friday we'll announce.
I got scared. I thought he was going to say 10 a day. I was like, hold on now, Rob. Settle down, Rob.
Not discuss
this is an experiment, okay? We're just trying to hook people up for back to school. We're trying to buy, glue, backpacks, school supplies, couple shirts. We're not buying Nintendos and PlayStations. All right, so I love it, man. I love it. We're going to hook people up, $100 gift cards. Use it for whatever you want. No purchase necessary. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go to one of my shows. You don't got to go to chingobling.com, click store. None of that. You just go to audibletrial.com / what did he said and download your free book. That's it. And then you send us the screenshot, the email you used,
and why you got that book.
Speaking of store, though, we're going to give away a little code in a bit, right?
Right.
To our listeners for being so dedicated. I appreciate every time I get screenshots. At least I know I'm sure everybody does, right? I mean, we get screenshots of people saying that they love the podcast, that they've been listening. Even when we're out on the road, Rob, now that you've actually experienced the road with us,
it's really cool.
people, it's really cool, right? To hear one guy just recently in San Angelo, when I was checking him in, he was like, man, we just heard all the most recent ones, episodes before driving up here. I told my wife, we got to hear them all before we get there.
Wow.
And I laughed. I said, did you think we were going to talk about the stuff? I didn't know.
Study. I want to be prepared in case they call on me.
Yeah.
On episode 75.
That's kind of how I felt.
Who burped?
So
Could you tell whose burp that was? 33
Maricel.
Probably Maricel.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hey.
My bad, dog.
Because he said, because my wife's not up to it yet. She's not up, on the podcast game yet. So I had to school her on the way up here, and I made her listen to the most recent ones, and she loved it. And then she asked me how to download the podcast little icon or the app.
Dope.
And so it was pretty cool. She's like, I'd never heard of podcasts before, so y'all are the first time. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I wonder if they were Apple people or Android people.
No, they were Apple people.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. They were Apple
So you
people.
could have been like, it's already on your phone. You
she
didn't even got to download
Because she
nothing.
did like this, and she goes, I didn't even know that was on here. And I was like, oh, yeah. I said, of course. So
it just comes with it.
Yeah.
I guess it does.
It's built into the app, into the phone.
Comes with the
She
phone.
just went like this. She goes, see, I have it now. I was like, oh, awesome.
And you can't delete it. So you can't delete the podcast app from the iPhone.
Awesome.
Oh,
so we're going to
that's
hook
dope.
you guys up with 10% off if you go to chingobling.com. We're launching my new collection. We got
That doesn't
tour
launch
merch.
until September,
That's
but
coming.
there is some stuff we have on there now.
So if you've been to a show and it's like, damn, man, they were all out of hats or they didn't have my size in a shirt or whatever, go to chingobling.com. Here's your promo code. I'm going to whisper it because this is just for the listeners. We're not announcing this on this ain't on
Do
Instagram.
ASMR.
Yes.
On my Facebook, people don't even know about this. That's how you know it's a hookup. Hey, dog, look, you want 10% off, dog? Look. This isn't even a grand opening. It's a
it's not
soft
a grand
opening.
Grand opening
We just
will
letting
be-
y'all in through the kitchen, through the back door. Like,
And
hey,
just
dog,
for the
what you need?
listeners, because you guys are, dedicated and faithful listeners, the legit new collection for Chingo does not drop until September.
Oh, some new stuff.
September 9th, is it? Or the 6th?
I think
The
we said
6th.
But right now, we
The
talking
ninth.
about the hookup. This is between us. You're going to get 10% off. You just go, when you check out, the promo code is WDHS. That's what it stands for. What did he say? WDHS is going to give you 10% off at checkout. And we haven't announced we haven't done no grand opening. Like, we haven't really pushed it. So this is just for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Hook up episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
How about San Angelo shows, guys? Let's talk about that real quick.
Shout out to the people that came out to San Angelo.
Tons of podcast fans, by the way.
Man, tons
Yeah.
of podcast fans. I honestly, there's nothing more rewarding to me to hear that, because sometimes I'll tell Chingo, I'll say like, who cares to listen to us talk? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, there's people, but then I know that we do it, you know, because we listen to all these other podcasts. So I know that we care to hear other people talk. So I'm always like, I guess because whenever we hear our episodes, I'm always like,
Well, the goal is to connect. The goal is for you guys to feel like, man, I feel like I know you, dog. Like, the goal is to give you guys an hour of free content that you can jam it on the treadmill, road trip, work, whatever you do. We get pleasure from it because, you know, we like chit-chatting. And I have a point of view. I have an opinion. I have a perspective. So, you know, that's all I'm giving.
shout out to the,
Shout out to you, Marisol.
thank you.
The way you was doing them frog leaps today with the box jumps.
Are you making fun of me? Because they were so
It was difficult.
bad.
The ones you did.
I'm so drained right now, bro.
Y'all, hey, I need the blood sugar's low. You guys need to step
Listen.
it up. Y'all both seem drained.
Wait, we're drained and we went to bed early. Well,
There's so much shit going on.
He ended up with a headache, but our goal last night, because
Well,
we had
while
told
you were here waiting, I had to cook breakfast. Then I had to assemble my baby's furniture.
Oh, that's fine. I was doing inventory.
he is so handy now.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
just
Zin, 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 zin.
built
Oh, that's daddy's drill. Don't worry about that.
Penny's little, I guess, like tea time
A little
table,
table
or
and little
little table
chairs.
for her to like sit there and kind of, you know, do whatever. But it's funny because I already told you guys in the past, he couldn't. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm not too handy.
When
I'm still not that
When
handy.
he first moved in,
I'm more patient now, too. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let me pull out these
he
instructions.
He is.
All in
Let me
one year.
Let
All
me
in one year.
organize.
When we first moved in together, I needed, I mean, I've always had to do these things on my own because I lived on my own, right? So I was like, oh, wait, so I have a partner now. Maybe he can put up my
Maybe
curtains.
he could put up this drywall.
Instead of me having to deal with putting up curtains, right? So I said, hey, I just bought these curtains. Do you think you can put them up? And he was like, it's like panic. Like all this sweat just starts coming down his face.
Fuck, how long is this going to take? There goes my studio time. There goes the gym. There goes everything.
I'm going to have, it would be so funny.
I haven't had studio time since 1986.
Before you post this video, I have pictures of him trying to put up my curtains. I have to find it so you can insert it at some point when this video goes live, because it'll be hilarious. It's when we lived off a road.
And that's why it's important to have a good morning routine and an evening routine, because back then I probably didn't have a solid routine to where little shit is going to overwhelm you and throw you off instead of, you know.
You were talking about that yesterday. Have you got, like, what is the routine with the 1-year-old? Do you have one?
So
what do you want to do?
So I wish we had a better routine. I think we have somewhat of a routine. The night one has zero. For someone who's so organized, it drives me bananas. The only thing I'm ever worried about before going to bed is the kitchen being clean. I have this thing with the
That's
kitchen.
a Mexican thing for sure. I'm
Yeah?
sorry.
Or her OCD. So basically, our morning and daytime routine was super, super tight. Everything was scheduled. Bam, bam, bam. We got this going, boom, 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 boom. Mickey goes to dance at 6 and blah, 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 all that. But then nighttime was pretty much just like free time. Like, oh, this is time to relax, not have to have no deadlines, not have to do no emails. You could, fuck it, I might want to watch YouTube. Like, it was just kind of up in the air. But the problem with that is, well, the other night you were doing something with your hair. That threw off the night routine. So I was like waiting on her to have dinner.
Oh, yeah.
So we had dinner like at midnight, went to bed like at 2. Early in the morning, had to get up at 7 with the baby.
Ask him why we went to bed at 2. Besides that, I had to take these damn extensions.
I was actually going to say that. I was like, he told me yesterday. I went down to
I went on this rabbit hole with Michael Rappaport.
YouTube rabbit hole.
Oh my God!
First I smoked a little bit and I was watching some old Cat Williams clips.
Oh, yeah,
and then she was like,
nice.
"Fuck this! I want to see Michael Rappaport." I was like, "Fine." So
Reluctant.
Anytime she says "fuck this,"
No, I didn't even
that's when
say
I
it.
jump. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? Anyway, Michael Rappaport's super funny.
He is. I had never. I mean, you know where I know him from? I had no idea he did stand up because my first exposure to
Boston
him.
Legal?
No, Zebrahead.
don't know what that is.
So it's a movie about him in an interracial relationship. He's dating a black girl, which is funny because I had no idea up until recently. He was married to a African American woman, and it's crazy because he played that role, and a lot of the things almost had things to do with him because in that movie he plays like basketball. He's kind of like really into the urban.
It might have been written around him.
Maybe because
he's really like that.
Yeah,
so,
he is.
yeah.
And 'cause he kind of talked about it on the Breakfast Club, and that's when we were watching him. But he found this thing on YouTube about like all his rants. Hilarious.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
he's a trip, but. Anyway, so that's the reason why we ended up being
2
up
a.m.
until 2 a.m. because I just went down this. I told you I've been on YouTube a lot more lately. Usually before I would get on YouTube, my only reason for YouTube was, okay, I like to do a different back exercise. Let me see what other, because I never watch female
Lifters.
I was like, let me see what male bodybuilder is out there. And that's the only reason I would get on. Now it's like, oh, let me check out so-and-so. Let me see what... Right now, I'm on... that girl from Blossom? What's her name? Malik?
Clarissa explains it all. Felicity.
She's
Who's that, Felicity?
She's actually on the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Kelsey... Kate,
she's got the
really attractive one?
No, she's not that
then
cute.
not
That's
Yeah.
subjective.
Nah, she's real hot. Everyone knows
She's like Dr.
Kaylee Kuklo or Kuklo.
No.
She wears glasses.
She wears
Oh, okay.
glasses. Let me tell you what her name
Well, you don't
is.
remember Blossom, huh?
No.
Okay, see, you young.
Insert question mark meme.
That was like some Nickelodeon show or something.
Blossom, no, it was on Channel 20.
So anyway, her whole point is that she watches Blossom on YouTube. That's the point.
Mayim
After this, we're going to read Beto O'Rourke
Bialik.
tweets.
Yeah,
We're going to talk
we
about
are.
4chan, 8chan. We're going to talk about mass shootings and guns and shit. But go ahead, Boo Boo. Tell them about
Man, I
Blossom.
just got scared. Oh my god!
Because we about to go down a research rabbit hole. That's
Yeah?
like my pet peeve. Like research, Google, it just turns into a thing.
Is that really a pet peeve?
Yeah, like especially like say if you're writing an episode about something, and you're like, oh, what are those things? He adjusts his cell phone case on his bicycle, and then you're like, well, what's a good brand to put? Oh, let me Google that bicycle. They make these in green, and then it's like you're not writing. Now you're Googling. Research, save that shit for later.
Oh, that's hilarious. You mean when you're trying to get something done?
When you're like doing something, it's like, oh, but what was that thing? Hold on, let me look it up, and then it just
That is 100% what happens.
And I'm tired and I'm exhausted. That workout kicked my ass. And last night I had a migraine, so I'm like crying in the restroom like a little bitch, like midnight, like fuck. I just want to like, dude, I was rubbing alcohol on my head. I found like a concoction that Luisa, our babysitter, left. It was like old wine with cinnamon bark. I don't know what the fuck was in there, but I just started rubbing it on my temples. So yeah, I need more water, less coffee, more sleep.
Got a nice full glass of cold brew over there.
And we're going to talk about 4chan, 8chan, guns, Beto O'Rourke, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Well, let's maybe start off light then. Did you guys see what happened in New York City last night in Times Square?
What happened?
So there was this is like 10 o'clock last night, a motorcycle backfired, and it sent all of Times Square into a stampede.
And then how many people got hurt from the stampede?
About a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
So the lady they interviewed coming out of a movie theater was like, and the headline was like, people trampled, some kids separated from their parents. She was like, I thought I was going to see my little daughter get trampled by all these people. And they show the video on
That's
on the
real
news.
shit.
And
that can happen.
100%. But it's just like, hashtag that's the state of America right now.
It's become the new normal. And one thing I read in the paper was that in Texas, where we just had a mass shooting in El Paso, a person could legally purchase like an assault rifle. You could, I think, legally put a 100-round drum on that bitch, affix it to that bitch, and you could walk into a Walmart legally, like whatever that little boy goes to jail for. That part's not even a crime.
Yeah.
Like you could walk into a Target right now, Fiesta, Sellers Brothers, HEB, with a motherfucking rifle, automatic on you. I don't know if you could walk in with the bitch ass headphones. Like, oh, I don't want to hurt my ears, bitch. Okay, so how the fuck is that legal? So if that's legal, and again, I know people screaming at their phone like Second Amendment. I'm not saying take away the Second Amendment. I'm not, because there's the danger is there's a slippery slope. Like in the future where the government takes over because we ain't got no more guns left because one idiot decided to violate the rules and take a 100-round drum, AR-15, da-da-da-da-da. At what point do you panic if you see a guy walk into a you're at the checkout lane, you got your babies with you, you got an 11-year-old and a 1-year-old. Dude walks in, rocking his rifle like it's Jay's. At what point are you like, friend or foe, 8chan, 4chan, what the fuck's going on here? Do I hit the deck?
Well, that's new to open carry because when I got my concealed handgun license, you could carry, but it couldn't be visible. So you couldn't show that you were carrying. So you could have it on. It was just not visible. So mine expired a hot minute ago. So, but I was telling him that it amazes me how easily someone can get a hold of a gun, but yet when you go get your actual concealed handgun license, they treat you as though like you're almost like a criminal. Does that make sense? It's like fingerprinting and, they do an FBI background check on you, not just a little like regular background check on you.
So what's a universal background check? What is that? Because that's one of the things I see in the debate. Like we need universal background checks. And it's a mental illness issue.
Did you hear Bernie Sanders on Rogan yet?
What'd he say?
Well, because he's what is he, the governor in Vermont or what have you, and it's a big hunting state. But he's also like, basically the fingerprint check, and then you got to do like an in-depth, like I guess maybe that's the universal check, background check of what's your anger like? Have you seen a therapist? How many times do you see a therapist? Did you beat your wife? Did you abuse your kids? Go in depth with like what mentally is going on with you before you can buy a gun.
How's your morning routine? How's your night routine?
Did you meditate?
Did Sean make y'all do squats while you only had 2 rice cakes in your stomach? Did you have to run 2 miles after that? Because, hey, sometimes, man.
I really don't. I don't.
Sometimes
so
you don't want to have
not
a gun.
against. I'm not against guns.
Yeah.
I think it's my right, and if you're gonna come in my house,
Guess what?
Yeah.
Baby, get him.
we're talking about my family here.
Get 'em, babe.
So you're not breaking in my
in
house.
the background.
Babe.
Yep.
She like, what you want, baby? Leg shot? No. In the stomach. Get him. I'm holding my ears.
Is it funny that when you talk like that, the first thing I want to do is like grab something and just say, and throw it? Is it fucked up that I want to make that noise?
To distract them. Yeah. To distract the bad guy. So yeah, man, there's just so many fucking things, dude. The craziest shit to me, motherfuckers get on TV after this stuff and be like, you know what? It's time we really need to talk to these video game companies because...
Is that really? I haven't heard that one.
Yes,
Oh, no, yeah.
Fuck
Bro,
yourself.
hey, man,
Come
your
on.
president, bro. Your president went on TV.
It's not my president.
Your president went on TV right after all of this. It was like, see? Oh, and then he found a way to throw immigration in the mix. He was like,
Awesome.
see, we need
Of
we need these background checks, because immigration, it's like, whoa, immigrants were the victims.
Yeah.
And I heard something about Mexico might sue the United States because some of their citizens were hurt.
Because they were across buying
course, right.
school supplies, and they were at the, I guess,
this little
shopping
boy,
for school.
I don't know if this little boy
stuff.
did his research, but the store was to capacity. It was like at least 1,000 people.
No, there was more than 1,000, babe. They said like 3,000.
Well, I heard 1,000 to
people.
3,000 people,
Wow.
and this is people from that crossover from Juarez, and it's the Jorge Ramos, the reporter.
Is that the connecting land next to it? Is that
Yeah. Juarez.
Juarez?
Juarez has been known for their murder rate, a lot of violence, especially because of the drug war, which the violence got bad once the United States government started taking out certain people from the cartel game, which just opened it up and it made it worse, right? So anyway, Juarez has been known for being like very, very, very dangerous, like women getting abducted, just really, really bad, contrasted with El Paso being known as like the safest city in America.
Safest.
Safest. I'm sorry, my bad.
I repeated what he said.
Safest. No, porque mira, era el más safest. And now people from Juarez are scared to go to
so
El
check
Paso.
it. I think they have
Damn,
like
the irony.
Okay, so I think the amount of people that were killed in this shooting, they had it in a whole
In a
year.
It took them a year to have 20
20
not deaths, obviously, because you got like heart attacks and car wrecks and shit like that, but I think it's 20 due to gun violence in a year.
In a year.
Or
Yet
something
that
like
happened
that.
in
Google
one
it,
day.
look
We
into
heard it on the daily. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's just it's so many stats, right? And even the scientist, what's that guy?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
He's getting a lot
him.
of heat for shit he said.
Yeah, he threw out some stats. I'm really not sure where he was trying to go with it, but his stats were like, Well, everyone's so upset over these 20-something people, but 500 people a day die from slipping in the bathtub, heat exhaustion.
How dare he even compare?
Yeah, that's what people are saying. A lot of people are saying
that. How dare
that.
you? It's not even the same thing.
Yeah, it's not.
These people. Okay, when you die of a heart attack, it's because you had some kind of health medical issue. You're shopping. You're trying to get your kids' things ready for school. And here some idiot just walks in and decides to fucking go blast everybody because he's trying to get rid of the Mexicans. Are you kidding me?
And another, it's so many layers.
Are you fucking kidding me,
There's so many layers. There's so many layers to this because some people want to put all the blame on your president's shoulder, Rob, on the president's shoulders, right? They're like, well, if he hadn't been saying all that ignorant shit, you wouldn't be having this guy driving from Dallas to El Paso trying to shoot as many, quote, Mexicans as possible. I think they said he was even dodging black people and white people. Like, no, you good. Get out the way.
Damn.
If I'm not mistaken, look into it. Regardless, right? Regardless of that, my point is, supposedly this kid in his manifesto, what fucking idiot, supposedly was like, I've been feeling this way before these elections. Mm-hmm. So if anything, one way to look at what's being said from the what do you call it? From the just to say the president, right?
Sure.
I was gonna say from this administration.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Well, it's almost like the shit he's saying is more like, bro, it's not the cause. It's more of like I'm just saying what they want to hear. I said what I needed to say to get elected, and sure, he probably agrees with a lot of it, like shithole countries and ban Muslims and Mexicans are rapists and all this other shit. But it's almost like immigration's been the issue since Ellis Island and Irish people and Italian people. Like my little CD, They Can't Deport Us All, that came out 2007 or something. And it seemed like people forget. But at the time, it was at a boiling point. And people forget. But the media, it was immigration this, immigration that, Mexicans this, Mexican that. And it's the same shit. It's just the greatest hits. So send them back. And you don't like it, go back. But
by the way, that song still jams.
Which one?
They Can't Divorce All.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the little guitar riff gets me every time.
Yeah, shout out to Salih for producing that. But at the time, it was like, bro, it's never gonna get to this point ever again. So I don't really have solutions. Obviously, we're not trying to go and take guns away from everybody because that's not really, and that's scary, right? Because then you could get a crazy government that could just punk the shit out of you and you can't do nothing.
Well, that is kind of what's happening. We are getting punked.
Who's getting rid of their guns?
No one. I'm just saying in general, the government is punking us. If you think about it, they're not doing anything to do anything. Nothing. Our president is doing absolutely nothing.
Well, I've heard people say like, hey, what is the Republican Party going to say besides thoughts and prayers? Like, okay, what actions? Like, what exactly, obviously, some people would debate it's a mental health issue. Have they said what kind of medicines this boy was on?
No, I didn't hear that.
There's just a whole nother. Here's the trippy part. I was listening to the Daily, and they're talking about 4chan and 8chan, which I really don't know shit about. But supposedly the kid posted his manifesto, the one from El Paso. He posted the shit on 8chan, and it got taken down.
So did you hear how it was started? How the little boy started it?
I barely started it.
So he basically, that was his kind of way of like, almost like ranting.
The guy who created 4chan?
Yeah, and then another man reached out to him. I forget who this man.
Yeah, a dude that had money from some Asian porn website. And so basically he had money and he had some tech experience. So they linked up and I guess created 8chan in Vietnam. Philippines.
The Philippines?
I think they live in the Philippines or something like that. But now they separated. They're not really cool no more. And the one little guy that was being interviewed, he kept saying like he needs to take it down.
Yeah.
He needs to shut it down. Like I want to move on with my life. I'm tired that every time there's a mass shooting, somehow, some way, this thing we created gets fucking brought up, and media people want to interview me. And he's like, every time there's a shooting, I have to go and research, was this motherfucker on 8chan or not? Mm-hmm. So he kind of wants to move on from that. But if you shut it down, they're just gonna make 16chan.
Yeah, right.
And then 32chan, because that's what happened when the music business, they were like, we're losing money, man. We ain't selling as many CDs. Find out who the fuck owns Napster, and we're going to sue the shit out of them. Bitch, what is that going to do? Mm-hmm. You thinking it's a spider? You think you can just cut the head off? No, you made a starfish. You
multiplies.
Boom. Frostwire, LimeWire, Nerds ain't that easy to you don't just sue one nerd and then you back to making money.
Yeah. Shout out Spotify, though. I got an email yesterday, because I have their service, and they're like, because you love, these artists, check them out in your city. And I got John Mayer and you in my email.
Oh, that's dope.
I was like, thanks, Spotify.
They sent an email advertising show appearances?
Yeah. They sent out to your improv shows.
I wonder where they're going with that. I wonder how Live Nation feels about that. I wonder how Ticketmaster feels about that.
Well, Live Nation has it on their email blast. Remember I sent you a
My
screenshot?
Tickets?
Yeah, I talked to Maribel and to invite them out. And so she goes, did you see my email at the bottom?
They were nice enough to include it in their email blast. Okay.
Shout out Live Nation and
yeah,
Spotify.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of our... Oh, let's read some Beto O'Rourke tweets.
Oh, you're being serious about that?
Yeah, their trip.
Yeah, because
Have
it's
you
interesting.
read them?
He sent me one.
This is why I want to bring it up. This is why it's interesting. So, I don't know if you know. I don't keep up with politics too much. But right now, the Democratic Party got like 22 motherfuckers. It's like a Royal Rumble. And Beto O'Rourke, he's really good at speaking for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, can I get 2 minutes to be eloquent? And what's happening on these debates is they cutting a commercial. They cutting them off. 30 seconds. Wrap it up. So he's barely like, hold on, bro. Like, this is my setup. Punchline ain't even came yet. So, unfortunately, due to the recent events in his hometown, people are really looking to see what he's got to say. And one thing that I did like about when he was running, I guess, was it senator, and we were invited to one of the events, is that he was a hell of a speaker. A lot of the shit he said was making sense. Like, why are people locked up for weed, yet weed is legal in all these states or whatever? Like, stuff like that, and talking about healthcare and all that. So he's very passionate. He's a good speaker. And then, boom, the motherfucker got balls. He's just on there talking buku shit. Yeah. He's just like, you know what?
Funny?
Fuck it.
He actually, what I enjoy about him, or I'm going to give him mad props, is that he actually comes back with like legit facts. Mm-hmm. He's intelligent with his responses. They're not like you blah blah blah. No, it's like intelligent responses. It's like, what are you gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
see my wife commented on this post. So my wife, hey baby, you only allowed to like 2 Beto O'Rourke pictures. So look, obviously some people could look at this like, oh, he's taking advantage. He over there at the visiting victims and shit. And hold on, bro. It is his city. What is he supposed to do? Just because of your little troll comment, he's not gonna go back, and not take a picture of it,
right?
But he's visiting. Let's listen to some of the stuff he says.
Is bringing more food than anybody can eat right now inside. That is donating more blood than we could have possibly expected. El Paso is really showing up and standing up for our fellow El Paso.
And of course, there's comments like, "This guy is laughable."
Yeah, man, people have a lot of time on their hands. Him and Bernie are boys.
To me, and anyone who's listened to the president and will look at the facts, that his anti-immigrant rhetoric, not just the things that I cited, but calling asylum seekers animals or an infestation. Now, you might describe a cockroach or termites as an infestation, something less than human. You might hear someone in the Third Reich describe a given people based on their characteristic as an infestation or subhuman. But that's what the President of the United States is doing right now. And it's not
you have to be very careful of words like that, because they literally did that to the Jews in the propaganda to slowly start scapegoating them and blaming everything on them. Sounds familiar, huh? They would use words literally like infestation, and all of Germany's problems would go away as soon as these people, who are, hey, it's just legal. They got to show papers. Hey, it's the law. Come here the right way, or whatever the fuck. Check this out. Somebody, he screenshotted this dude, Eric Bradner, tweet. Beto O'Rourke is on his way to his car. Beto O'Rourke on his way to his car was asked if there's anything Trump can do now to make this better. Beto's response, quote, "What do you think? You knew the shit he's been saying. You know the shit he's been saying. He's been calling Mexican immigrants rapists and criminals. I don't know, like members of the press. What the fuck?"
The writing has been on the wall since his maiden speech coming down that escalator describing Mexican immigrants as rapists and criminals. The actions that follow cannot surprise us. And anyone who is surprised is part of this problem right now, including members of the media who ask, hey, Beto, do you think the president is racist? Well, Jesus Christ, of course he's racist. He's been racist from day one, before day one, when he was questioning whether Barack Obama was born in the United States.
You know, your president spent $80,000 running ads calling for the death penalty of the Central Park Five. He was running ads in all the papers, like, back our police, like, bring back the death penalty. They were kids, and they were innocent, but they were kids. All right, here's the last one. This was they going back and forth with Trump. All right. Beto tweeted, 20 people in my hometown are dead after an act of terror inspired by your racism. El Paso will not be quiet, and neither will I. Boy, that boy called him out. Hey, man, 3 o'clock, we boxing.
Trump.
This is Trump.
Trump took the bait.
Look at
Okay,
Trump.
okay, of course he did.
He took
Of
the
course
bait.
he
Of course
did.
he did.
He took the bait.
Mr. Professional.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing. When
Trump is as professional as me when I sit on here and I'm on my phone. And
well, if you go around grabbing people by the pussy, that's already about as professional.
We can make it a professional
Wow.
video if you do that.
I mean, that's what he got caught saying on tape. My lyrics are very clean, by the way.
yeah.
So look, this was the fact that he took that bait from that tweet. It's interesting because you got 22 motherfuckers, Biden, Cory Booker, you got all these people. No, I'm gonna, and then this motherfucker say, hold on, bro, let's talk about this, and then he took the bait. So it's almost like he pulled him from the bottom of the 22 or 20, whatever it is, and like took him to the top 5. Trump said, Beto, phony name to indicate Hispanic heritage, O'Rourke. He put all that in the middle. Beto, quote, phony name to indicate Hispanic heritage, O'Rourke, who is embarrassed by my last visit to the great state of Texas, where I trounced him, and is now even more embarrassed by polling at 1% in the Democratic primary, should respect the victims and law enforcement and be quiet.
That's a pretty damn good reply, though. Let's be real.
Well, he went straight to your real name ain't Beto.
That
So?
gets everybody, though.
Yeah,
That's the
but-
first thing everybody mentions. You
But
ain't
how-
even really a Beto.
Yeah.
What's his real name? Isn't
Robert.
it like Robert? So
I don't
don't
think it's Robert, though. I think it's something else, actually. I'll look it
I
up.
think it's Robert, brother.
I'll look it up.
And sure, that's the first thing people gonna say, right? Like, it's a lot of brown people, and you trying to get votes, so you change your name. But motherfucker Spanish pretty good.
Do you go by Beto?
No.
See, my uncle does, but
Some people do.
But he's Humberto.
So basically, look at his reply. His reply is, who's embarrassed by my last visit to the great state of Texas, where I trounced him, and is now even more embarrassed by polling at 1%. So he's basically saying, you're losing in the race. But Beto's like, bro, I'm talking about this tragedy, and I'm telling you that I'm not going to be quiet, so I'm about to be a pain in your ass. And then this dude's like, you're just mad because you're losing. You didn't directly reply to what he was saying. So he's talking about 22 people in my hometown are dead. Yeah. And then you got the dude in Ohio. I don't know too much about that one. Supposedly his sister was in the crowd or something. I'm like, hold on, bro. Did you
Yeah.
not recognize her?
That's crazy.
Did you not recognize her?
Can you imagine those parents though? Now they lost their son for whatever his mental issue was or why he did it. We'll never know now.
We might. Did he post a manifesto or he straight up?
That I've never.
I haven't read much about him. But I did read. Like I've seen all the videos of
The
people.
El Paso one was obviously hella premeditated, hella racist. This guy, I don't know too much. The Ohio guy, but he also I read in the paper. He also had some kind of like AR or AK, and I was reading in the paper that these gun manufacturers who emulate and make like their version of the AK or their version of the AR or whatever, they were saying how the 100 round drums were cumbersome and heavy, so a lot of people, they phased them out. They weren't that popular. All of a sudden, motherfuckers want that 100 round drum. So either you just like to overdo it, you like to show off, or whatever kind of deer you hunting, you trying to hit you just a bad shot. You ready for the zombie apocalypse, end of the world.
You're a prepper.
Or you got a music video popping on YouTube and you want to show off your 100 round
But I
drum.
will say, if you ever shoot an AR, it's like wow type of thing.
Adrenaline.
It's just because you literally, even when you're looking through the scope, it's like
Marisol sounded like a mass shooter. Over
like
there.
it's
You a
just
hunter?
like it's just like you honestly, it's so precise and it's like so like accurate, you know, and it's crazy because it's like you almost when you shoot it, you can almost feel where it goes. Like it's dope. AKs, I'm not a fan of shooting an AK. I've shot an AK. It's just too rough.
Sideways.
You know, it's just too rough. I'm not
out the backseat of a Regal with a 40. Damn, Marisol. Pass the blunt.
But his name was Robert Francis, but Francis didn't appeal to the Mexicans, and
So where did Aurora come from?
That's his last name.
Yeah.
O'Rourke. He's
So what is
Irish.
Francis?
is his middle name. He went by
Oh.
Francis. It didn't really go by Robert, but Francis didn't appeal to the Mexicans, and Robert was like so they changed it to Beto.
Well, my thing is this. This is what I'm. Okay, what do you stand for and what are you about?
I don't
We'll
really
talk
care
about
what
your
his
name
is.
later.
What
Yeah.
you gonna do?
All I know is this, and they don't even. I'm not saying he's the solution. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's fucking Bernie. I don't know if it's a Republican or an independent or whoever. My thing is this, man. Like, I mean, from a child, I knew, even though I was a citizen, I knew I didn't really fucking belong.
Yeah,
That's what the shit come down to, man.
for sure.
Like, I just felt like I didn't all the way fit in. Like, people find ways to make you feel like, yeah, this is for us. This ain't really for you.
Mhm.
This is, we the people. Yeah, because as you're a kid, you start to slowly see, like, injustices. And the little bit that they do teach you in public school, which is super edited, the history books, you know, it's kind of like, oh, wait. Like, for instance, my daughter's little friend, which, like, was like, she said something like, da 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 da, but my friend, you know, it's because, you know, they Mexican. And she's like, I didn't mean to say it like that. She's like, I don't know, it just sounded really bad, like how I said, like, Mexican. Almost like it was derogatory. I was like, no, we're proud to be Mexican. Like, Mexican is okay. Mexico's beautiful. Culture, everything. It's good. It's a good word.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You know, it doesn't, like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Like, for example, marijuana, you know that's made up.
Right.
The plant is cannabis.
Right.
But these motherfuckers made up marijuana to make it sound what? Mexican.
Yeah.
Because they knew people would be like, oh, it's dangerous and it's dirty. And it might rape
You know what's funny? I swear to you, I'm going to sound so ignorant. I'm sure people are going to make comments about it.
Hit it.
But up until about third grade, I really thought everyone was Mexican. Like
that sounds like midnight, yeah.
like I really didn't know that there was like Salvadorians. I think it was it was probably second grade. I think someone said, I don't
They're
remember
like,
what
I'm
it
from
was.
Honduras. You're
Well,
like, oh, what part of
no,
Mexico
well,
is
he
that?
said
Yeah.
He said he was Salvadorian.
You're like, oh, is that about Guatemala?
And he said he was Salvadorian. And I was like, Salvadorian? What?
What is that?
What is that? You know? But he spoke Spanish, so I just assumed that he
But
was
you're
Mexican.
one of us.
Yeah.
Right. You're brown.
So then it was like, oh shit! There's a whole Latin America.
There's layers to this shit.
I'm sure I
there's-
thought the same thing though.
There's everything else.
If you're in a bubble and you just grow up.
Yeah.
And so I just, for the longest, just thought.
And then if you'd have grew up in New York, you'd have had to constantly be like, I'm not Puerto Rican. But now it's different, but maybe New York back in the day. But what I was saying, man.
I used to always get, though, you don't look Mexican. I was just like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I've gotten that before.
I don't know what you don't look. What I don't even know what Mexican really looks like. I
It's
mean, we
just
all look different.
It's an
because-
ignorant statement because Canelo's Mexican.
Yeah,
100%.
you know.
And then you got black Mexicans, you got Asian Mexicans, you got all kind of. It's a diverse country. Lebanese Mexicans, tacos árabes. We were talking about that today. Al pastor, the trompo, that came from Lebanese immigrants who brought, they used it for lamb. We remixed it, you know what I'm saying? We put that whip on it.
Yeah, some tacos al pastor.
Made it
good right
pork.
now.
We made it pork, and then, we remixed it. Made
It's
it better.
crazy. Yeah, but for the longest, I really just thought we were all Mexicans.
But what I was saying about my Beto thing, I could tell Rob's not a fan. He's like, oh, that's not really his name. I don't know why he's doing that. My thing is this: I'm just bringing him up because for me, it's exciting for somebody that is willing to be a rebel and call out some stuff that may not necessarily be 100% true, but you're speaking with passion and you're really trying to tackle. Like, can we get a solution? Can we not just pussyfoot around the situation? Be like, oh, it's a video games, or oh, I wonder. Like the memes are hilarious. Where it's like, Well, it says in his manifesto it was anti-immigrant. It was inspired by this. It's like, yeah, but we don't know. And it's like, oh, and there's a picture of, it says Trump spelled out in guns. It's like, yeah, but we don't know. And it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da. And it says this. It's like, yeah, but the video games, though. He played Fortnite. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that earlier. He Trump himself, our president, your president, said that about the video games?
He was like, it's time that, the video game industry is finally... whatever, because they're the ones causing this. Even though there's video games everywhere else, there's video games in all other countries.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
And that don't really happen. And there's mental illness everywhere else, but for whatever reason, doesn't really happen here. I don't know if it's a pharmaceutical.
What was the thing?
Tamalito.
The stats that you send me with all the. I think I sent it to you. I think Rania sent it to me with all the shootings, and then it's like
the flags,
like zero. It's all the flags, and it's like
T.I. posted it too. It's 0000001 00001
and then it's like
200 and something in a year.
US. Yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying earlier about like, I knew as a child like I just never really fit in, like, because there's the status quo, there's the powers that be, and then whatever, but. Just like as a motherfucking American, as a citizen, it's like, hey, there's some important things that I know some solutions are expensive, and I know we don't just have endless money for everything. I'm not saying we got to take money out of the military because that could be dangerous and scary, but it's a couple things that we kind of need to move up to the top of the pile on our desk and kind of figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not one of those like, oh yeah. I mean, think about it, man. Like our kids are growing up in a world where they're having to do these drills and all right, Mika, like Ashley was saying, like if you hear that, is that an AK? Is that an AR? It's almost like you're getting pop quiz. Like, okay, is it multiple shooters? Is it one active shooter? And like the way people look at their phone these days, it's like, oh fuck, what's going on? Active shooter? No, it's my trainer.
Hey,
active shooter or a Lamborghini? Which one is
listen. Pan to us sitting in Corpus outside,
yeah,
having a meeting, and Pete's like,
I thought it was active shooter.
That was only a flashlight.
No, but they kept passing by suspiciously,
Yeah.
and these days, I'm not saying they hunting for Mexicans. I'm not saying that. Hey, if you come on, bro, that truck was lifted. It looked like they had their shit like.
I mean, I had
a rebel flag.
I had a lifted truck with a rebel flag on.
Yeah, but you got that Arabic skin. I'm not looking at you like you the Dukes of Hazzard finna just woo. We're gonna make America better by getting rid of them. Shit, you never know, man.
I think at one point or another, we all felt the same way, like you're talking about, like didn't belong. It's not for you, kind of thing. I know I've said that when I was younger too, which is why I actually emphasized learning English really well, because I was an ESL when I was young. I didn't know that wasn't my first language. Spanish was. So the way I acted, the way I talked, the way that I just conducted myself,
the way you match your clothes, your haircut,
dude, for real. Like
I had no idea you were in ESL.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Until I was like 6, I didn't know English.
No English till 6?
Yeah, I was like 5 or 6.
Well, neither did I. I went to school not knowing English, but when before my mom became a hairdresser, went to school and so forth, she cleaned houses, and the lady who she cleaned houses for were teachers. And so she asked my mom, when your child starts school, make sure they never get put into ESL. And my mom was like, okay, why? She's like, she'll always struggle to try to get out of ESL because there's different types of funds for ESL. So their goal is to obviously, yes, you need to catch up and be, progress and so forth, but they're okay with you taking your time learning English.
I didn't know that.
So you fuck around, end up with an accent.
So yeah, so my mom, so when I started pre-K, I still have my report cards. If you look at the first semester I was there, I always tell him there's like nothing but F's because I had zero clue what they were saying, like no understanding of the language. Who was going to teach it to me if no one in my home spoke it, So I knew nothing. But by the next semester, and they kept bugging my mom, like she needs to go into ESL. My mom was like, no, she knows she learns Spanish at home. I need her to come here to learn English. So she needs to learn English, not Spanish. I don't need for it to be taught at the same time. I need English.
How long were you in ESL?
Probably a year or two. Yeah, maybe a little less.
And then they tested you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going back to what you're saying. Like, I kind of like observe my surroundings, even as a little kid, and just kind of be kind of hyper aware. I'm like, I need to pick this shit up now, so that I'm not like behind with all kinds of things. So when like Penny, you guys only speak Spanish to her. I think I thought that initially when I was like, you guys don't speak too much English. So I was like, oh, in my mind, I'm like, oh, if she's not behind, learning English when she starts school. But if she's going to be homeschooled, you never know.
Yeah. And I think she hears
they
it from
pick up
her.
English, dude.
Yeah, her sister, Mickey doesn't know Spanish, so all she hears is English from her. So
the fear for me is they're going to be monolingual, and they're only going to know English.
Yeah.
So the risk of, hey, she might struggle with English in kindergarten, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have her struggling with English till 5th grade than to just speak English. Because, I don't know, like, tying it back into politics, but people are really scared, not even for, like, bad reasons, just for, like, voting political party reasons. They're scared of how the demographic is changing in the state of Texas. So they know these motherfuckers are multiplying 9 times as fast as, Anglo-Caucasians. These motherfuckers generally vote Democratic. For whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because the other people are spewing bullshit. And so, yeah, that's why some people are really... I think the boy put that in his little manifesto. And there's a term that's circulating, and you got to be careful with this algorithm, right? Because of confirmation bias. But there's a term that's like... fuck.
Now that you say it, it's going to pop up on everybody's screens.
Yeah, I forgot it. But it's a term that has to do with that. It's escaping me, but people like throwing it around. Like, it's not like white flight. That has to do with real estate when people bounce from a neighborhood. Like the neighborhood I grew up in, really a lot in this neighborhood even. Yeah. This neighborhood used to be all Jewish. Now it's mainly black, right? 3rd Ward. But there's a thing called white flight. It's something else. Yeah, but it sounds like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know what solutions... When's the next?
And it's scary because, we have kids, and what is it like? What's it going to be like for them?
This is what I really wonder. Like, are motherfuckers not alarmed? Like, is nobody up at arm? Like, nobody's like demanding. It's just we just kind of go through our day and like, well, hopefully they fucking fix it. Hopefully they figure it out.
I think that's where where most of America is right now. Exactly what you just said.
It really is. Yeah.
I think they're like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, we just need, what are we going to do?
Or like the memes, right? Especially I don't know if this is like black Twitter type of meme, but it was like, or confirmation bias, like super left liberal, but it'll be a meme of like the white boy. It's like a comic. It's like a drawing. It's the white boy with the little vest, his little headphones, so his eardrums don't hurt as he's shooting at Walmart. Right? Fucking headphones, you fucking bitch. His little, like, shooter glasses so the glare doesn't mess me up as I'm trying to do what I'm doing. After I drove a really long drive. It says, broken child up under him. And then it has the little black boy playing with a toy gun at a park. And, we already know what happened. I forget his name. Yeah. It's been so many. And it says, grown man. So it's like we want to process him as a grown man. We want to approach this little guy as a danger, as a grown man. It's the one with the cop pulled up to someone called. There's someone with a gun at the park. Drove up and just bah. Oh shit, he's 12. My bad. Oh shit, it's a toy gun. Whoops. So it's all those little like double standards and shit. And or what about the guy?
Talk about this stuff. It makes me so mad.
It does, but
it gets depressing. It makes me upset. Or
what about the dude? What about the black guy that was in Walmart, looking to purchase? I think it was like a BB gun. It wasn't even a real gun. He didn't even shoot nobody. Yeah. Cops rode in, dead on the spot. What you doing in the Walmart picking up this gun-shaped product that we sell? Other guy could walk in with a rifle and shoot 20 fucking people.
Damn, that's crazy. Like you said, I hate talking about it too, but it's one of those things where the least you could do is have a conversation about it, have some kind of discourse so people hear, at least like maybe it might be opposing opinions on just guns itself or like what language you speak or whatever. That's at least the least somebody could do. Because like you said, people aren't paying attention to it because everyone's stressed. They're working, they got families, they're trying to feed their families, they're just trying to get through the day.
And you got idiots. And that's the part pisses me off. Here's the thing. There's a lot of like types of idiots I didn't even know. there's layers to the idiot game.
Yeah,
like
for
there's
sure.
there's incels. You know, heard of incel?
I just heard somebody talk
You heard of
about
incels?
No.
This which they made up a name for it, but they be on 4chan and 8chan. It stands for involuntary celibate, meaning you can't get no vagina. You mean you're just in the relationship game, you are out of there. So you kind of maybe just socially awkward. But I think one of the incels did something. Anyway, my point is there's layers of society of like, especially these days, right, with all like the gender fluid and there's like cosplay or whatever. Like there's people that got their thing and their fetish. But on these websites, you got like the alt-right type of dude. And then that whole thing, it's like, it ain't just skinheads no more.
No.
It used to be like, okay, if this motherfucker dressed like a skinhead, I know he a skinhead. Watch out for the skinhead.
Or even like the whole black coat.
Oh yeah, trench coat.
You know,
The goth look.
the goth look. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just kind of just weird people. Like like the guy that put out a listing. Have you heard about this? This is a while back on Craigslist that he wanted somebody to chop his dick off and then eat it. Remember that?
Somebody do it? No.
Yeah, somebody did it. It was a Russian guy, put a listing out, and wanted somebody to basically cut his dick off, eat it, and then murder him. So it was like involuntary suicide kind of
Did
thing.
somebody do that?
Yeah.
How's that legal?
It technically wasn't. The guy did get prosecuted, but it took some time to like figure out how do we handle a case like this. So the Russian put the listing out. Somebody actually replied to it, and long story short, chopped it off. They sautéed it. He ate it, and then
Stop.
While he's sitting there bleeding, like
while he's bleeding in the bathtub. Yeah.
Oh man, put some olive oil. Dog.
Yeah. While he's bleeding out in the bathtub, and then
Bleeding
slices his
out.
throat.
He's like, all right, bro, this is it, man. How you want me? You want me left
That
ear,
just made my
left
head
ear to
hurt,
right
Rob.
ear?
Oh.
So,
And apparently, there's a video of that somewhere, probably on 4chan or 8chan.
and he wanted it filmed.
Yeah. So then that guy, sorry, no, one last thing. So then that guy, he first thought, maybe I'm not going to do this, but then ends up making the flight.
How much money?
I don't remember what it was, but then got a taste for blood and became one of the people who now he wanted to do that.
Well, first of all, you sick as fuck. First
Anyway,
of all.
for answering the
Hey,
ad.
so no, really, we're on a plane. Hey, brother, he had to go to Russia.
Yeah, he was either go to Russia or the Russian was here. Either
So
way.
it's like, let's just say he went to Russia. Hey, man,
Sure.
so what you got going on in Russia? Oh, man, it's this Craigslist ad, bro. It's kind of weird. I've never been to Russia, but I'm going to chop this dude's dick off. I got to go eat some dick and then slice a dude in the tub. What are you going for? I'll visit grandma. You already sick because you on this long flight thinking about chopping off dicks and stuff on Craigslist.
There's the whole write up on it too. Like whoever covered the
both
story, whoever covered the story was like the person. The
Oh,
perpetrator.
you got to send that to me, Rob.
I'll
I have
send
to
it to
send
you.
that. I have to read
So let me ask you
that.
this: I haven't got far in the 4chan, 8chan research, but is this you would literally type in like 8chan.com and it comes up, or
Mhm.
there's some dark web shit?
I always call it the dark web, but it is just like it's like Reddit. Honestly, it's like
But oh wow, so let me ask you this: I should listen to the thing, but so it's legal. They're legally allowed to host all these whatever.
Mhm.
And it's legal. Like there's no government law against.
it's just an open source platform.
Yeah, because it's just exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a platform where they're just posting. They're not. No one's saying they're going to technically, I guess, do whatever they're posting.
But you said they got like beheading videos.
Mhm.
Okay, can't watch that. So let me ask you this: if you have AT&T, you using AT&T's internet, you going on to this 8chan, and you're looking at beheadings. At any point, I mean, that's legal? You could just.
I mean,
you're watching. It's like you watching porn. Is anyone going to keep you from watching porn?
Why you look at me when you said that? She looked dead at me, looked into my soul. Yeah, because I don't know shit about 8chan, though.
Yeah.
but they're watching you do that too.
Yeah,
they don't know how much porn
exactly.
you watch. That's why
Yeah.
they have the statistics. How many people visit Pornhub or YouPorn or whatever?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they have all their statistics too. That's crazy, man. So basically, the difference is YouTube is gonna have their rules. Like, no, we don't want beheading videos
Yeah.
on our servers.
Of course.
Whereas 8chan is like, no, yeah, it's
Free
yeah,
game.
our servers.
Wild West. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you
Wow.
want.
And basically, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, like, so this is like a little quarantine area for all these extremists, like alt-right, incel, the
Mhm.
little incelibate dudes and all these people. That's where they go and hang out. Interesting.
Levels to it, man.
Levels to
Levels.
it.
So they
for
got a place to
real.
hang out. This is okay. So we could try to put a pin in this. Would y'all want to go around the room and maybe present some kind of possible maybe solution plan?
I'll start just by saying that what happens that every time something like this takes place is that everybody on social media, because everyone has a voice now, becomes a political genius and a theology major.
And there's bots on top of that.
Right. They go into the mix.
And they throw in little false.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard it was 36 people.
Exactly. Yeah. So I didn't know that.
I heard Bethel was there. He was shopping, but he hid.
He hid. I didn't know everybody had a theology major and a political degree in order to start just spewing out all this information.
Facts.
Instead, just do something, right?
Yeah.
For instance, Mike Dolce. A lot of people know Dolce as one of the dietitians for UFC, and he's big. And Joey Diaz is really good friend or whatever. He tweeted something about being a better neighbor and being a good man to your community and picking up trash versus doing all these things online, which is kind of like what I'm saying. But this is coming from somebody who he doesn't go around his neighborhood picking up trash. Sure, you could say those things, but if some people actually did that thing, it would make a change versus just, what's going on here?
Do you know what my girlfriend does when she takes her kids to the park before they can go start to get play? They have to go around and pick up trash in the park.
Oh.
And throw it away.
See, more people like that.
And then they're allowed to go ahead and go play. So before they bring a little bag, and then it's like, okay, ready, guys? And she says that she kind of just started because, she wants to obviously help the planet and teach them about keeping, picking up trash, not littering, etc., recycling, and so forth. And so she said it was almost like a little bonding thing that they did together. And so she felt like it taught her kids, a lot about...
It instills a lot in them.
And so, that's a whole nother problem.
And so now she says, like, whenever they're out somewhere, the older one will say, hold on, Mom, there's trash. And so he'll pick it up and go throw it. And I thought, wow, that's great that, before we can play, she'll say, we got to keep our parks clean. Because remember, we come play here. So do you want a dirty park or do you want a clean park?
See what I'm saying? For every one of those, there's 10 people to do.
And that's great for climate change.
Yeah.
But
everything.
What we talking about? Mass shooting.
Makes you a better person.
Yeah, your kids be less likely to be fucking idiots.
Yeah, and to go kind of back to the race thing, like the twins, that's why kids are awesome for one of many reasons. But they wanted Whataburger the other day. They usually don't ask to go out to eat, but they were like, "Can we go to Whataburger?" Like, okay, sure. And there were these two mid kind of young, probably teens, mid 20s African Americans that were like helping us, or they're actually on their lunch break next to us. And Brooklyn turns around, she's like, wow, y'all are beautiful. I love your hair. And then turns back around. It's like, she's 4.
Yeah.
Don't know anything else. No idea.
I mean, the kids were models, working at Whataburger from the side. Nah, but yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, the innocence, you got to protect that.
Yeah, like Mickey doesn't use the word like Hispanic or Latino, or she usually says, she's brown like me. She'll say, she's brown like me, And I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, yeah, there's a new girl in my class. Oh, she's brown like me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's her way of saying, she's.
That sounds like 4chan code to me. No.
What about you?
Let's see, mass shooters.
If Chingo
Let's
Bling
start
was
with
a
the
superhero.
pharmaceutical industry first.
Oh man, Bernie Sanders had a lot of good points on that shit too, about the cost of medication in the United States versus like in Canada. Talking about all like.
No, we getting fucked over here,
yeah.
Dude. Talking about 0.1% what we pay in the States. It's crazy, and that's another thing that isn't talked a lot about. We're kind of moving away from the mass shooters, school, healthcare, the debt of school. Those 3 things: getting into school, paying for the debt of school, and then healthcare. I don't really hear anybody else talking about that right now.
So Aruba actually you go to college for free in Aruba. But then when you graduate, you do have to, because a lot of kids there's not very much work in Aruba, right? So their whole thing is more like hotels.
It's an island, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you've never been, it's definitely a place to go.
Southwest will fly there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Let me tell you what else.
Because I got points.
It's a place where you're not
Baby, you could go wherever you want, long as Southwest fly there, and we got points.
So it's not a place where you like, you need, like, it's not a place where you're going to go ahead and do a bunch of stuff, okay? It's definitely a place where you go relax. It's like, leave me alone.
It's like Galveston.
Checking out now.
But with blue water.
How dare you?
The water is amazing. But anyway.
Put a pin in Galveston.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
So what they do is that when you graduate college, afterwards, you basically just have to work within Aruba in your, for at least, I think it's like 2 years. and then you're free to go and go wherever
That's
you want.
cool.
So basically, you're
It's like
paying
co-op.
it's like you're paying your debt back by working for your own community. And then if you feel like I saw it almost like, oh, it's a tester. Do you want to stay here, or do you really want to go to another place to work in your field or whatever it is? So I thought, wow, so y'all got to go to college for free? Yes. Okay, well, can you imagine how many more people would probably actually make the effort to go to college if they didn't have to dish out all this money? One, apply for all these loans. Two, and if books didn't cost $1 million, I don't get why books cost so much.
Why is it $350 for
why
history
is
book?
your
why is half of it bullshit?
Yeah.
And why exactly? And why is the book almost the same as my
non-applicable
class?
bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of those stuff, all that stuff needs to be revised.
Especially that Texas history bullshit.
Dude, history in general.
There was
History in general. I'm gonna agree with you.
I mentioned it in a past episode where it was a scam. Like this lady knew the deadline for turning in the textbook, and she got with a couple writers who weren't even like historians, and she basically hit a lick and got a contract from the HISD and there was so much ignorant false stuff because they rushed it to get paid. And then Galveston, y'all heard about the two cops, the horse cops that were they I don't know if it was like a mentally ill man or homeless or something, but they had him. What is the procedure?
Tied.
Well,
they
he was
supposedly
like tied.
They say supposedly.
Oh, it was a black dude.
Yes, cops that are on the horse. That is their procedure.
I don't know how you arrest somebody when you're on a horse. Like you.
So they got off, arrested them, and then it's like, almost like it had.
Did he make him walk?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Didn't call in help.
No.
Like
Didn't call a car in. Come pick up
this guy. And go ahead and take him to
of course
jail.
they put out a slick ass rebuttal. Like, oh no, we were just practicing in case, because sometimes shit like that be happening, and you be having to, you be wanting to know. All right, here it is. Here's the image, and then there's the old school version.
Yeah, that's
there's the
the
guy.
new.
I mean, unfortunately, it's visually, I wasn't there. Visually, I see a white cop on a horse, black dude tied up, and he's like escorting, kind of like an overseer. Have you know what an overseer is? Yeah.
That's crazy.
There was an awesome song by Karis One, Overseer, Officer. He does a whole song basically saying like, and then he had another one called Black Cop. Basically saying like, bro, you a straight sellout because, police brutality. All right, here's my answer for mass shooters.
Give it.
All right. So if we look at, I'm just going to walk my way through it because I don't know everything. If we were to pull out all the stats and the data on what we qualify as a mass shooting or a mass shooter, all right, it's going to vary from disgruntled work employee, like I got fired at the post office. It's going to go from I'm a military dude and I got fed up and I, shot up at the base. It varies. It's not all going to be racially motivated. Like Columbine, that was like the first school shooting. So then that's another subdivision of mass shoot. That's how many mass shootings we have. Is that we have categories like, oh no, that one goes under schools, right? So if we look at if we narrow it down and let's just say we leave out the school ones, you leave out the I guess the like the Ohio guy. I don't know. This motherfucker was Antifa. I don't know who this dude was. Take that aside. If we look at the racist ones, it's sticky, dude. Because what percentage of those, like if you just narrowed it down, like let's just say there's 50, what percentage of those people were on 8chan, 4chan? Just to kind of monitor activity. And then that the FBI had rang the alarm like weeks prior to this, basically saying we predict there's going to be a rise in lone wolf. Again, that's how many mass shootings our country has. That you got a category called the lone wolf, motherfucker. Now this lone wolf guy, I got to do some research, but the FBI, like a couple weeks prior to this, they were already like, hey, man, looking at the shit the buzzwords on 8chan and 4chan, it's probably going to be some lone wolf shit going on. And although you can't just blame an administration, you can't just blame a president, you can't just blame whatever, or you can't just put all the blame on Fox News, However, when you have an algorithm and you have buzzwords and you have like this fear of, oh my God, my race is going extinct. We're not multiplying fast enough. And you have these invaders. It's an invasion. It's an infestation. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes infestations. Who would like an invasion? My president just said, these people are infesting us and invading us. So now if I'm a fucking dumbass, I'm on pills, I'm on 8chan, I got buku guns that are, how, baby? It's just fucking like butter, man. You know? So it's a fucking shit show. You mixing up rhetoric. So I kind of feel what Beto's saying. In some cases, you can't just say all mass shootings. Mm-hmm. No. I guess these lone wolf motherfuckers. I want to know, lone wolf, what's your dating life like?
Well, they actually did a study on that.
What's
I want
your
to bring
home
that. I want to
life?
bring that shit up.
No, what's everything? What's your
like?
home
Did
life?
your girl
What was
like
your upbringing?
When you drove to fucking El Paso from Dallas? Did you have a girlfriend that made you some sandwiches?
They actually did a study on that. All of these mass shooters, none of them got laid. No, none of them got laid. That's the solution. For sure, that is a deep study into that.
We fucking found a solution.
The losers.
You an incel.
Oh
you ain't a fucking lone wolf.
Look at this guy.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Come on, man. Look, if I was running, Bernie, you need to bring that shit up. These guys that are going around, they're lone wolf incels. They're on 8chan, and they're getting no coochie. We need more coochie in circulation.
Making weed legal and make prostitution legal.
Come on, somebody.
Solve a lot of problems.
End the show right now. Roll the credits. Dude, if you could find an article where they mention that, because
okay, I will.
That's how I was walking through it. Okay, you got mass shootings. Some of them are school. Some of them are like going postal at work. Somebody got fired, shot up 8 cubicles. There's all these different reasons. It's sure mental health gets sprinkled in, all this other stuff. But these lone wolf motherfuckers.
I mean, I think it also has to do with your upbringing too. What was happening in your home that you had to go that way? You know, it all starts at home. I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And here's another thing too, man. If you want to be this vigilante, I'm not saying I don't want this part to get misconstrued. Unfortunately, these type of weapons are the most efficient. Mm-hmm. Is that a correct word? These are gonna be if you're trying to run up in the festival
and get rid of
and shoot as many people as possible, you're gonna need the one that goes da 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 da, not da da da. Okay, so this little incel, this little pendejo, he ain't that fucking dumb. Because if you was that bad about it, you'd have walked into the Walmart trying to box people because you a G. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You, I don't know. And all those, the Ohio guy and this guy, they bought those weapons legally.
And what about the guy that did the shooting at the Garlic Fest?
I could Google that. But
I don't know. What was his? I didn't get too much info on that one.
For example, did he have a manifesto? That's another key word. Mm-hmm. Motherfucker, do you have a manifesto? Nah, I'm just stupid. I'm just crazy. Okay. Well, then you're not a lone wolf.
Has there ever been a mass shooter that hasn't been Caucasian?
She took it there.
I'm just asking.
I'm asking
for
a friend.
real.
Okay, no.
I don't think
Yeah. Mass shooters?
Yeah,
again,
mass shooters.
In the broad sense of the term, yes, there have been some that are non.
Oh, okay.
For example, this guy was military. It happened in Fort Hood near Killeen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
He happened to be of I think Middle Eastern descent or something. I think his religion was Islam, but I don't think he did it in the name of Islam. He was just like, bitch, I'm a soldier and I'm fucked in the head.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything to do with the Quran and none of that. Interesting question. Like, could there be a fucking gene somewhere, in your DNA? Like, is there a little malito gene?
Yeah, I'm just curious because most of the faces that I've seen when this has happened, the school shootings, early 20s, Caucasian male. So I'm just curious.
Assault rifle.
Yeah, if that has anything. Or if it's only been Caucasian, I'm not really sure. Maybe that's what I should research first before I ask the question.
Can you imagine? Well, we're just asking questions. Can you imagine getting a time lapse footage of this boy's life like this guy in El Paso. Like if you just saw it in time lapse, like didn't get hugged, nobody told him I love you, like maybe abusive stepdad, never wrote that.
So everything you just named. So basically, there's the LA Times put something out yesterday. We have studied every mass shooting since 1966, and here's what we've learned about all the shooters, and they all have these 4 things in common. It's super long.
No coochie, no weed. What else?
I mean, it's in there, yeah. Honestly, like majority of them had depression, childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma.
And there's a long list of number 1, 2 is every mass shooter had identified and reached an identical crisis point weeks or months leading up to the point. So they had some kind of crisis leading up to them wanting to commit this crime. Third, most shooters studied had actions that other shooters sought validation for their motives. So they wanted attention, they weren't loved, kind of thing. And it just goes on.
Want to go down in history?
Yeah, I mean,
make a name for themselves.
Another reason why it's not good to talk about these people, but
well, I didn't say his name.
No.
Another question is this. I don't know his name. Another question is this. What's the protocol? As a police officer, when you arrive, do you shoot the motherfucker? Or you take him to McDonald's like they did the other boy? Because the other boy, they drove him to the drive-thru. Young man was hungry.
Did they really?
I swear to God. Google it.
Oh, well.
What's the protocol? You saw the picture of he's standing there outside the little Walmart?
I don't know what the actual protocol for police officers are, but I'm assuming if I caught someone shooting, right, my instinct would be I need to put him down because he's hurting other people.
But they always make it to court. They make it to court every time. They get processed. Freddie Gray didn't make it to court. A lot of people didn't make it to court. A lot of people don't make it to court.
Yeah. Like
a lot of people don't make it to court.
I don't know. Maybe we have some police officers listening that could comment and let us know, educate us.
Maybe we tiptoeing around the real.
And I'm
like
just
America
saying,
is kind of. I love America. I love my freedom. I want to keep my freedoms. That's what I love about this country. But it's some sick shit that it's weird that it's only happening here.
Don't let your president hear you say that.
Hey, my president already got a file on me.
A long one at that.
I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, it's just crazy though. Like it makes you wonder what's going on in like. Okay,
freedom of speech, Rob.
Hey, get all these mass shooters together and like run experiments on them. Like, what was your cause? What was your reason? How do we avoid it? Because this one, and this one, and this one all have the same, like they've all like done the same things. It's the same patterns. So, okay, we kind of see, is there a medication that they all share in common?
You know, Big Pharma don't want that. Oh, no, don't. They paying somebody in the media. Please don't mention our product. Please. We don't want that kind of trouble. We don't want that kind of heat.
The way that they analyze sports athletes after they've done something like drastic is what they I don't know if they do. They
brain,
yeah,
CT.
basically, yeah. Like Junior Seau played for the Chargers. You know, he shot himself in the chest and then wrote. You know, he didn't. Most people shoot themselves in the head. The reason he didn't do that so they could study my brain. So he killed himself, but I saved my brain so you could study it. And that's what they do with a lot of other sports athletes to test for CTE and things like that. Do they do that for people that have mental illness potentially and do mass shootings? I don't think so.
Like, I think their first instinct is just to go ahead and put them in jail and let's get rid of them. What's their punishment? And then that's it. They don't go into depth for the real cause. What led to that? Why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's find the common denominator between all these mass shootings, and maybe there could be a solution there. Should kids get evaluated when they're in elementary school? Like, is there like some sort of evaluation that you get done before you enter school, before you
showing mass shooter behavior,
like before you even go into start kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Is there some
like
sort
Midnight,
of
like Midnight said, a kid that threw the piñata stick at all the other kids, like, whoa, hey, you showing behavior, tamalito.
Yeah, and you can sense that in kids, I think too. Like everyone has that one cousin or that one relative that's like
a little off.
Why are you so off, man? You know, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though.
You don't want to offend your tias or anything, but you're like, hey, check your son.
Here's the thing, is that these situations are able to continue to happen for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's an epidemic because of the patterns. Like just like suicide could be contagious, like in a small island, young teenage boy chooses a specific way to kill himself and does it in a way so his dad could find him as a rebellion to his dad. Then other teenage boys on the island that, hey, my dad disrespect me too. and I'm gonna do it the same way. Next thing you know, you have an epidemic due to patterns. It's like a tipping point. It was in that fucking Malcolm Gladwell book. So another reason why...
Oh, Outliers.
Yeah, so another tipping point.
Oh.
So another reason why this shit is tricky is because these dudes act alone. It's not like a gang. It's not a cell. It's not a clique. It's not a crew. It's not like ISIS. They act alone, and it's almost like not really random, but it's like, well, he bought the gun legally. Mm-hmm. There was at no point, there's no checkpoint, there's no way of stopping this. He walked into the Walmart wearing it, still within the realms of the law.
Yeah.
He could walk in wearing it. He could be on HN. He could have these extremist views, and motherfuckers get allowed. Nobody's going to their house. You be Muslim and go get a fucking flight license. Go try to be a pilot and be Muslim. See, them
like
people
the guy that did.
They come into your house, bro.
And they came and questioned him.
They come into your house. But you could be on HN. You could have buku, right? You could put the pictures of the guns on fucking Facebook, and you could walk in with a 100-round drum legally. All that shit is legal, and people making money. The gun manufacturers.
And where did he get the money to buy this gun? Because they're not cheap.
No, but guess what? The gun manufacturers are. Hey man, we didn't tell him to go do that. We gonna keep making them. They gonna keep making. There's more guns than people.
Well, and that's the argument too. Is that like a gun, for instance? Like people always bring up ARs. Like those are inanimate objects. You can't. They don't do anything. The people do something with them.
Yeah, of course.
That's always the argument.
I've never seen a gun walk around, grow legs, and start shooting people.
Yeah.
I get it, but unfortunately, because it's an epidemic and because the way these dudes end up, like by the time we catch wind, it's too late. Oh my God, Kevin, we had no idea. We didn't show any signs. He was in his room polishing the shit out them guns, which is still, he should have been polishing something else. He's on 8chan. He's on the wrong website. Ain't got no girlfriend. Like, bro.
Again, it goes to, like I don't know, like what really is the solution? I don't really know, but I think a lot of it, you end up with these kids who have, issues growing up, whether they be, abusive parents, parents who just don't care. They're in their own world. So they just like, hey, go to your room and do whatever you do on, on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Or go play your, whatever it is that your 8chan, or go do whatever it is.
Go play with your 8chan.
Yeah,
Fortnite.
you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, they're on there, and so it's like you're not being monitored. You're not going in there asking like your child, like what.
You're not making pipe bombs in there, are you, Kevin? No. Okay. All right.
That's another thing, though. A lot of these people, they have people around them. Like, why are people so like blind to what's going on around with the people around them?
I've heard that some cases they like literally were like, "Hey, he's about to do something crazy."
Several of them, yeah, and they ignore him. It's
and
like
then later we're like thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Did you ever? I mean, probably not. But did you watch?
No, but seriously, thoughts and prayers to all the families,
of course,
and to El Paso, to Ohio and to California. Like it is very sad and it's unfortunate, and these parents
and we're frustrated. That's why we're fucking trying to figure this shit out. Because I'm sure the government, the powers that be, I'm sure they're kind of trying, I guess, but motherfucker don't look like it.
Yeah.
It don't look like it because what's the change? Obviously, we don't want people taking away Second Amendment, take away gun rights.
And sometimes I know we get caught up in life and we get busy and so forth, but let me tell you something funny. We did an exit interview for Mickey, I guess that's what you can call it, after the trip to California, and I recorded it. And so...
And it's probably on that memory card.
It's actually on my phone, babe, I think.
Okay.
And so basically, I did like a little exit interview with her, and I was asking her questions, how she felt about California, and like, I wanted her to have something when she turns 20 or when she turns a teenager, and I wanted her to remember, like, when I was 10 years old, I got to experience living in California for a month. I got to take dance classes and, just
acting
a lot of things that probably a lot of other kids don't get to do. But I wanted her to have some kind of a memory, some kind of like something if she's ever feeling like, like, damn, like sometimes you're feeling like shitty. But if you ever look back at any of your journal entries, you're like, damn, life is kind of pretty good. Like, why am I feeling like shitty right now. Whatever it is. Sometimes things happen and you just feel like...
Sometimes it's just lack of rest.
Yeah.
or lack of rest.
Inevitably, you end up thinking or like remembering if you have enough insight or like you're connected to yourself that, man, I used to wish for these kind of problems.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if you're stressed out, like let's just say now versus 10, 15 years ago, you would
like maybe like you have all this work.
Or like more money, more problems.
Yeah. Like you can
not even bad problems, just like
just stress.
just like
like I don't have time to get in the studio
Yeah.
because I'm preparing for my Mexico. I'm doing Spanish stand-up.
So you can say to yourself like, "Damn, man, you know what's funny? I used to wish I had these problems 15 years ago." And then you're like
damn,
it's
people.
all good.
Damn, man, people keep asking for more music.
Yeah, I'm in such demand right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so there was a guy sitting behind us, and I had zero clue that he was listening on us. He goes, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I was like, "Yeah." P had walked off with Penny, so she wouldn't interrupt the video.
Oh, nice.
Right, and I'm like, now I'm like on standby, like what's about to pop off, like we got to get ready, And he's like, "I just wanted to compliment you." He's like, "Because I have yet to hear a mom and daughter have a legit conversation. Either the mom is on the cell phone and the child's on the cell phone and everybody at the table's at on a cell phone or some kind of gadget. I've not seen a parent have an actual like conversation with her." It's just like, and y'all were legit having like a conversation, like y'all were feedback, and she was telling you how she felt, and you were telling her you understand how she felt.
You were
It's
engaging.
just, yeah, exactly. And so it was like, I've not seen that in
And then
forever.
he sees the phone recording.
But I was
like,
recording her.
oh.
I was recording her not because it's going to go on social
Yeah, yeah,
media,
yeah.
not because
It's
of
for
it.
her.
It's like it's
It's
for
her time capsule.
And we also interviewed her when she turned 10. Just real simple things like, what song are you into? What's your
funny.
favorite color? What are you into right now? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying?
it changes.
And
every
because
year.
I wanted her to see.
She's
when
like
she-
4chan,
So since she
8chan.
hell no.
Fuck that. Oh, that's another thing, right? Another distinction. These are never females doing this shit.
No, females don't have any problem.
So I'm not trying to bring gender into
Females ain't
this.
got problems getting any.
I'm not trying to bring gender into this, but fellas, we that's city boys need to subtract 500 points.
Step
It's
game
kind
up.
of like hot girl summer right now because girls ain't did not one mass shooting.
Hot
Fellas,
summer.
cut it out.
Do
Yeah.
better.
Dude, I think we all need it. We could all do a little something to be better.
Yeah.
I think every day.
Another question: the boy that drove to fucking El Paso. Okay, did he do any hunting? Like, did he use that gun for anything else?
He's from Dallas, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was he? What this is what I was trying to understand.
They
Like,
said he was kind of
so
smart.
your whole drive. What are you thinking? Your whole drive there.
He's just like eating pork rinds.
Like,
and
what is your
oh,
drive
shit,
there? Oh, I'm
Buc-ee's.
stopping at Buc-ee's.
Oh, he's keto?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or can you imagine if his drive there, he would have stopped at just different Walmarts where he knew there were Mexicans, because
No,
that's what
they
he...
say he specifically chose that one because it's one of the ones top in the country.
So
with,
that
like,
means
most
he did his
traffic.
research
'Cause he
as to
could've-
what is the busiest
It's Mexicans
Walmart.
in Dallas.
That's what I'm saying. But so he did his research as to which is the busiest Walmart that I can go to in Texas that I can drive to, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything along the way. Like, did anyone see him along the way? Is there video of him stopping at a gas station? Like, what was he doing at the gas station? Was he friendly at the gas station?
Was he beating off at Buc-ee's?
Yeah,
What was he
what
doing?
was he doing?
Like, I wonder if the thought crossed his mind, like, okay, when the cops show up, we're probably gonna have a shootout, and they're probably gonna shoot me dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Or he's
What
like,
were-
nah, I'm gonna go to court.
What were you calculating in your
Oh,
brain as?
bitch
What are you
ass.
calculating as you're driving there? I can't even imagine.
Where in jail are they holding him? Is he in general population?
I don't think he
Because
can.
he might run into some Mexicans in there.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he
I
can.
don't know.
But hey, tax dollars at work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now Chingo's reading something else.
I'm reading what Willie D. Shout out to @WillieD Live, H-Town legend. He's actually running. He's running for District B. I'm not too sure what that is. I guess it's like
As a local representative or?
yeah. So it's Willie D for DistrictB.com, and he's from the group the Ghetto Boys. And
Mhm.
anyway, he posted something about these mass shootings, and he said Trump declared the 2 shootings in El Paso and Ohio that left at least 29 people dead within 24 hours, quote, a mental illness problem. Actually, I agree that mental health did play a role, mental health and a healthy dose of hatred. But why doesn't Trump have that same energy when non-whites use guns to kill? I don't know.
Maybe you can use that that free Audible book to get Charlemagne's book, Shook Ones.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, I need to finish it. I have the audio version, but I haven't finished it. Sorry, I got a lot of other. I got my Jorge Ramos book in español.
Oh, you got one?
Sí, en español.
Oh, in español.
So I'm reading in español, so that my brain, para que todas las palabras y las
¿Cómo se
letras,
dice?
el acento.
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice? I'm not gonna say cómo se dice when I do my shows in Monterrey and Saltillo. And I have a real good tutor over here. But like reading, looking at the words, looking at the accent marks, looking at the syllables, looking at punctuation, looking at all that stuff, it's really exercise for your brain to be like, because Marisol told me, she's like, you're probably going to read slower in Spanish.
For sure. Which
is true, because he got a lot of big-ass words in there. But so far, it's helping. I just feel like it's just like massaging.
So my mom used to make us read a lot growing up. Like I have a whole bin full of books. And it's funny because at one point I said I never wanted to have kids, but I used to always say, I'm going to save all my books for whenever I have kids, which was weird how my brain works. I said I never wanted any, but I was saving them just in case. And so I have Mickey started getting into the Babysitter Club books. And it's funny because I have the original Babysitter Club books. And so she was like, oh, those look different. I was like, no, y'all's look different.
She's like, this the first print.
I have the originals, you know? And so anyway, growing up, my mom's a huge reader. My mom can read like 2 or 3 books in a night.
Wow.
In a night, bro. Like, and she'll stay up.
Skimming.
Just stay up and like, right? I mean, my mom will even tell you.
I'll send her a book. I was like, hey, check out Sapiens.
Yeah, so they go back and forth about books that they've been reading, right? And so it's funny because...
No, Pete, es que te digo que en Europa, en el siglo XVII, habían demasiadas opiniones.
I haven't heard a Sapiens reference in a long time.
Still goes hard.
Anyway, so growing up, anytime the book fair happened, it was like, how much money do you need?
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like, no, here's $20. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was...
how much you need.
How much you need.
Good investment.
And so for her, it was very important that we read, but it was also important for her that we read in Spanish. So I had a lot of Spanish books growing up, and I used to tell them, like, I can verbally speak it without a problem. Like, I'm going to say my Spanish is pretty good. But reading was always like, okay, this is taking me longer. I'm getting frustrated, you know?
Same.
And my mom would say, that's because you need to practice. You need to keep practicing. You got to read. So I have a lot of kid books that are also in Spanish.
That's cool. I
can't wait to bring those from my mom's house so I can, give them to Penny. And, she gets to read, like, Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah.
It was really random books that she would buy. It's funny. Like, I have one on, like, bulldozers, like...
She might be a mechanic. You never know.
Okay. I remember like seeing that book in my bed. And I was like, what was this book about? But I guess to her it was like, oh, she needs to read English and she needs to read Spanish. So I'm just going to pick random books, and she would just pick random books. But so he got a Spanish book, and so I try my best to like keep my Spanish
sharp.
Yeah.
Just in case.
In
case somebody try to call you out.
It was my first language, so I guess it comes natural to me. But it's weird because I think in 3 different languages, and I think we've talked about it. So I think in signs for some things, I think in English for other things, and then I think in Spanish for other stuff. So it's weird, like how your brain works when you know.
She'll speak Spanish loud in public on purpose. Like, bitch, I wish you would try to say, that is not the language of our country.
That's funny.
Just starting shit.
But
gotta represent.
Yeah, for sure. I do it. So Houston.
Yeah. Thank you, Houston. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Houston.
Yeah. Sold out weekend.
Where
we heading to next? Addison. And
do you want to drop?
I might be filming my set in Addison. We're waiting on like. Did we get approval?
Approval is there.
Okay.
We just
we need to lock in
details.
Production.
Yes. Approval is confirmed.
Can't wait.
I'm most excited for him. I told him I think I'm going to shed a little tear is for Spanish, because it's something that we have talked about for a long time. So for me, the person who helps him put his tour together, it's always in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like this is a goal that he wants to achieve. How am I going to make, how is this going to be possible? Is he ready yet? Is the material there where it would translate both ways and they would get it? So it was always something like that in the back of my brain is always thinking. So when the opportunity came about and I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is really happening. And then he read me a journal entry from a while back where he said he wanted, his goal is to do Spanish eventually in Monterrey.
I said specifically Mexico City and Monterrey.
Yeah, and it's happening.
I'm really leaning towards Monterrey because it's closer to my, ¿cómo se dice? Like accent, I guess.
Yeah.
Your
It's
hood.
more norteño, yeah. DF, I'm going to have to, I'm not trying to emulate a DF accent, but anyway, I feel like it's the bridge because it's very northern. It's like almost not really border, but it's way up there.
It's up there.
But I'm excited for him. And I told him, I said, I might shed a little tear. I'm going to have to. When he would go up on stage at the very beginning, Midnight used to always make fun of me because I used to always get so excited. And I used to always feel like, okay, I would be so nervous for him. I have no idea why I would get so nervous for him. But I guess because I know the backstories. Like we talk about like, oh, how he's feeling and, this material and what do you think about this? And so our conversations are like that. And so Midnight used to always clown me and say I looked so mesmerized when he was up there. He's like, you look at him like he's this like just this person you worship. He's like, you're just like so in awe of him. In the beginning, I used to always get choked up when they would say, Chingo, Bling, I spent.
And now we're in San
And
Angelo.
I'm
Hey,
like,
did you pay attention?
I'm like, no. And now it's
She's
like,
texting somebody. Wait, what?
now
What?
it's like, well, now, let me tell you, before I used to be really big about taking notes. And actually, I was cleaning out my phone, and there's so many notes that I have every city. I have the city name and then the notes from there. And it was because the stand-up was being so, being worked out. Developed, exactly. I'm not trying to sound cocky like he's the best right now. But right now, his material is very polished to where I'll look up when I hear something that's different that I know he hasn't said in other cities. So that's what will make me look up versus before I was paying attention. I was taking notes for him. Immediately when he'd get off stage, I'd send them for him so that he could review them for the next one. Right now, I feel so confident in him where I'm like, oh, he's killing it. And then I just hear the laughs. I'm like, he's fucking killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it now. It's like
this set I hadn't seen in 5 months, and I was sitting there. I saw it twice, and I was like, oh shit!
And each time he kills different,
Yeah,
right? Isn't
yeah.
it crazy? And that's what I tell him. I'm like, I don't know how to describe it to you because I'm in the audience. I was like, so I know that it's a different point of view for him because he's the comedian, but as the person who sits back and observes everything, it's insane. Like when he was working out one of his jokes, I used to be like, damn, so in so-and-so city that part killed, and then we're in another city and that same thing, I was like, okay, that didn't kill as good. It's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Timing.
So yeah, so it's that's what I observe now.
Enunciation.
It's like I observe like laughs. Okay, people are digging that. That's where I'm at now with him. And then when I hear stuff that are like different, or I'll immediately know if something's up. Because when he gets off stage, what's my first thing? You good?
Yeah.
You good?
Did you hit too much? Not
So
enough?
I kind of want to. I know Houston passed. I kind of want to look at the tape for Houston. I don't know if we needed permission for that, but we'll talk about that off air.
Yeah. So I'm lucky that I've got to witness the past 5 years.
Quite the journey.
It's been quite the journey.
Oh, wait till this Spanish set comes together. Because for one, with the English stuff, I want to do Canada. I want to do like English-speaking countries.
And Canada
Go to
is going to
England.
happen because
it's right there.
But we also I have someone that I've been talking to. So that's also.
And they ain't got no mass shootings over there.
It's super nice.
And so
they got
all
Drake.
these things are going to happen. So I'm excited. They got Drake. Most
They
importantly,
got Justin
Drake.
Bieber. They got Canadian bacon. They
got
got
Avril Lavigne.
They have churros out there.
Ooh.
So.
And then with the Spanish set, man, it's gonna be like 2 tours. It's like sorry, America, I'm busy in Latin America right now, but I'll be back. You know, it'll be like, hey, U.S., remember me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be like, definitely travel.
I almost don't want to I want to record the set that he does in Monterrey, and then I just want to like show him like, you know, we got to improve from this, whatever it is. For all I know, I thought his Spanish set that he did in L.A. was pretty good for the first time ever doing it. I was honestly impressed. I even told him, I was like, wow. I was like, you know, there's a few things here and there that he did that were like
script issues. We didn't have time to like literally sit down, go over.
Like right now, I already told him this week coming up.
We didn't have that luxury.
Yeah, this week coming up, I told him, I said, I already have it on the schedule as to what days we're going to rehearse, because Houston will be the practice for Addison. So right now our focus needs to be for the Spanish set that's coming up, you know, which I honestly don't feel like he needs to be worried about it. I think
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. It's just we need to set aside time, and I need you to sit down with me, and we're going to go through piece by piece to make sure I'm using the right words and stuff like that. That has to happen.
Yeah, but for the most part, if like you listen to the set, it's damn good, and I'm super proud of him. And I told him, I said,
she forgot to say I'm a brilliant performer.
He is.
She forgot to say that part.
I'm telling
amazing.
you, one of the best, and
Tell
I
me
think
more.
honestly that's the reason why the choke up would happen, is because I think I didn't start touring with him immediately after. I didn't start helping him immediately when he started, but I did get to go to the second show you've ever done, right, in San Antonio. That's where we met Midnight and Javi.
Speaking of Midnight, we need to have him on here because we already mentioned him 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And he's one of my buddies.
He's gonna break the internet when he comes on here.
He just had a birthday, so yeah, we need to get him on here. This weekend.
So what do you call it? I think you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you basically said.
Oh, you went to the second show. He ever did.
I think it was
San
your second
Antonio.
show, right?
Something
was
like
it like that?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. Well, then I didn't go to another show until like I don't know what's. I was like, I even told you, I was like, wow.
You've been practicing?
What a huge improvement from, and I didn't know how I was going to tell him because we were still new in our relationship. And you know how you're kind of like, okay, well, how do you say it nicely so it doesn't seem like he did shitty the first time? He didn't do shitty the first time, but I could see.
That's your first time.
The difference, or the second time. You know what I'm saying?
It's a hard thing to do.
It's a very hard thing to
time.
do. And so then I got to see it. Then I started touring with it, where I started helping him with the tour. So now I got to see show after show, and it was just like, wow. It's amazing to see this evolve.
I sent him that snap. So I told him I got tickets for my sister to go see the show because she was like, we had breakfast. She goes, oh, I can't wait to go see Chingo again. Remember the last time we went, we had such a good time? I was like, I didn't go with you to see Chingo Bling do stand-up. She goes, yeah, you did. You bought me that red Fedia shirt. I was like, no, I didn't. It's like, you must have gone with one of our other brothers or something. And she goes, no, I got the video. So she goes on her phone and searches, found the snap of getting him come out on stage as Tío Juve. This is like 2016, I think, early 16.
Was it?
Yeah.
We had those Cinco de Mayo shirts made. 16?
Yeah, it's because
When I
she
started?
tweeted it out too, and you, I think, replied to her
Or
or something.
17, I think. It might have been 17.
Might have been 17 then. I forgot the year the tweet was dated, but it was just so funny, like, because the improv wall was decorated to, I think, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we decorated it. Mm-hmm.
And she hashtagged Chingo de Mayo. I was like, were you the first person to use Chingo de Mayo? And the way he looked, too, because we were just complimenting how, like, he looks like Mark Wahlberg in San Angelo. And when he came out on stage a couple years ago, I was like, he don't even look like the same person. And
motherfucker been putting in that work,
I
baby.
told him that when he sent me the clip.
yeah.
And I was like, he was like, I didn't even pay attention to that. I said, babe, I've never thought he was big. So to begin with,
Yeah,
he's
sloppy.
always been small to me. You know,
You
he
saw
said-
the little snap?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
then I was like, oh my God. I was like, do you see? You're like in shape right now. Do you realize that? I was like, I even asked him, I said, is this your first time like
We
being-
started scheduling my 6-pack.
Yeah. I said,
She was
oh my
like,
God.
oh shit, you finna have a 6-pack for your birthday.
Somebody commented, are we going to have to start calling you La Piedra? I
Ah.
lost it.
Yeah, so it's funny because I told him that. I said, is this the first time you've been like in the best shape of your life? Or have you been like, for me, I can tell you
Yes.
that when I was in
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's funny, right? It sounds so cliche. Best shape of my life as I'm turning 40.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. Because I was telling the trainer earlier, I was like, hey, was that last move we did where we're pushing this sled but doing like bunny hops, like using on your toes or whatever. I was like, is that plyometrics? He's like, yeah, that's definitely plyo. I was like, dude, I signed up for track in high school, because that was the thing you didn't really have to try out for. You just sign up. And I had no business being on a track team. Like, super slow. I'm slow now. I was even slower then. And then we had to do this stuff called plyo, like these like one-legged skips and like frog leaps and just weird, like a very like explosive jump,
like P90X style stuff.
Kinda. It's like imagine lunges, but it's like very explosive. Anyway, it was like, oh, that was fun, because they put out cones, and it's like, oh, okay, that's fun. It. Next day, we signed up to go to the mall. You had to sign up in the dean's office to be on the mall van list, and then the mall van came and took you to the mall, because we're kids and we don't have cars and we live on campus. So I couldn't walk in the mall. I'm like super sore. But I think about that. I think about my 30s, my 20s, and I'm like, oh my God, I was eating junk. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't drinking enough water. I'm like, I feel so wise now, because like life will find a way to teach you and remind you, like, motherfucker, you need sleep. There's nothing. I mean, Red Bulls, all that shit. No. Sometimes you need a can of a nap. Like, it's not always just, what do I drink to be up? It's like, motherfucker, lay down.
How about you take a nap? Turn
the fucking lights off and, like, wind shit down earlier. So that's the old me, the old man me, which is like, no, a las 10, hey, apaga todo.
Lights out.
That now.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was hurting.
Yeah, yesterday was the first time I heard him say, I didn't get enough sleep.
Bad.
I need to go to sleep early tonight.
No, dude.
Usually our bedtime is midnight. I'll be honest with you. So we usually don't. When we were out in San Angelo,
that one night we stayed up.
I do
like
not.
3:30.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't want to do that shit no more.
And it's funny because everybody's like, "What?" If you think about it, what were y'all doing until 3:30 in the morning? Chatting. It's not like we're not like partying or nothing.
Hanging out,
just
talking
literally
shit.
chit-chatting.
Next day, waste of a day.
Yeah, and so that's for me now. Like, before, it was like, oh, I'm getting up at 2 in the afternoon. Great. Let me see. I'm going to go get something to eat. Let me call my mom. Let me call my dad. Everybody's great. Cool. Should I go visit my grandma? Yeah, I probably should. I go into work at 8 p.m. Let me go to the gym. Because I work the night shift. So even though I work the night shift, it was like, now you're wired because you've kind of been up for a minute, So it was kind of like, okay, well, I don't go until 8, so... It was like a routine. I can't even imagine doing that. And I ate pizza pockets, and
I can't do none of that.
I mean, those were my groceries, because when you live on your own, it's kind of like, okay, why do I need any extra lean cuisines?
Yeah, lean pockets.
No, I mean, I know I sound bougie, but all I see is sodium when I look at those things.
Like, well, yeah, now that I'm educated, of course.
Not only that, when I was like a kid, my mom wasn't the best cook, so it's fucked up, but true. But true, and she'll admit it. So I'd be like, hey, can you buy me like those TV dinners, like the Hungry Man or whatever, can my dad take me to McDonald's? And so I was literally eating that little frozen TV dinner, which was invented. It's like some weird shit.
You know what's crazy? Have you ever wondered like why you even went there when that was never in my household? Frozen food. Never.
Whoa.
We didn't never have frozen food. I mean, you defrost chicken and you defrost meat. That's the only frozen thing you have. Everything else was like vegetables.
You buy into the, especially as a kid, you're going to buy into that lie of that convenience. Or to me, it's like the picture looks great. And I was probably hungry too. So I'm like, finally got a little appetite. Like, oh man, that was like, what is that? Like a Salisbury steak with gravy. But you open it's frozen as fuck. And it was better than...
the gravy's frozen, too, on top of the chicken.
It was better than what my mom had whipped up, unfortunately.
You got to do what you got to do.
Or it'd be like, Dad, take me to McDonald's, which, of course, is delicious. But now I know it's like, ooh, can't do it.
I didn't actually start doing bad until probably I left at College Station. In high school, because, it wasn't cool to be like, you got to be cute. It's not like you can be chubby. And so I was also in soccer, and I was on the drill team, so I danced for a long time. So I pretty much watched what I ate, but it wasn't like healthy. So we had Chick-fil-A at my high school, so I literally would only have.
Ay, tutis.
Well, I mean, we did,
Ay,
but
en la prepa tenían unos sándwiches de pollo. Ay, cállate. Güey, ¿has probado las
okay, let's talk about your
papitas?
high school full-blown cafeteria, sir. Thank
Hey,
you.
We had the cereal bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Talk about bougie.
Oh, you could at the cafeteria, right? First of all, the shit overlooked the lake. You could overlook Petty Lake.
Exactly. See?
It's a natural lake. It's a fucking body of water.
And he wants to clown.
But anyway,
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, at our high school, you could for breakfast they had like this one little line where you had like pre-made stuff, but then they had this other line. What would you like? Yeah, let me get 2 over easy. Crack, crack. What? Shit.
I looked over a bed of cow shit. You were
Okay.
lucky to get Fruitopia out of like the vending machines.
Wow.
Oh, wow. No, so because I was, like so, aware of calories, it was like, ooh, I can only have this chicken sandwich and that's
Yeah.
it until, it's time for me to eat again. So I usually kept pretzels in my purse. I don't really know where I got
Sounds
the
like a
idea.
rap.
I don't
like a
know why
song.
pretzels were it. Pretzels, the peanut butter crackers. I was like really like not healthy, but it was like I needed to stay thin. I mean, I was in shape, but because obviously I was in sports. But someone just asked that yesterday for Tip Tuesday, like, when did you get into fitness? Like, I was like, I was kind of always in it. Like, I'd never really like ever stopped. I
Man,
boxed.
The first time my mom called me chunky.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's fucked
well, no,
up.
that's all my life.
No, that's her nickname. Gorda.
That's
Ay,
my
gorda.
nickname, Gorda.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
where
But
I
like,
started.
it's almost like term of endearment. Gorda, ¿has leído el libro de Sapiens?
Gorda, ¿cómo has estado? And I'm like, okay. Even when I
Ay,
was
gorda,
like,
me da cosa cuando it was like,
Even when she's on stage competing.
Yeah,
Gorda, te
exactly.
miras
gorda,
más
¿cómo le hiciste?
yeah. Or even like now that I've been dropping weight, she's like, Gorda, te miras más delgada. It's like, how does that
Gorda.
Gorda and delgada
That's just
go
your nickname.
together?
That's just
you know?
it. That's Mexican mom.
But my mom was tough growing up. Like, she did not play. So she used to always tell me, and right now in this day and age, my mom would be considered, I guess, verbally abusive, if that's how you want to, because she would say, si estás gorda para tus 15 años, no vamos a tener quinceañera, porque yo no voy a dejar que mi hija parezca piñata. I was like, damn. Like, coming some slack.
Right to the heart.
But exactly. But
Close range.
but for me, it was I was a late bloomer, so I didn't go through puberty till a little bit later. And so when I went through puberty, I swear to you, it was like magic. I woke up one day and it was like, oh, I'm not chubby anymore. Like, I'm thin again, you know? But it's your body changing. So then it was like, oh my God, you're too skinny. You need to eat. I'm like, okay, who gets you?
Yeah.
Before puberty, you were like, I'm not having my daughter like a piñata, you know, for her quinceañera. But now it's like, hey, I really need you to eat because have you seen how skinny you are? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, okay, which one is it? So I was thin for like all of junior high, high school, probably the first year of college, and then after college, after I discovered like, oh, this is
Burritos.
party, like
Burritos.
lanes,
Ooh, gross.
Freebirds. After I discovered
Liquor,
all that alcohol.
Liquor.
Dude, my
Actually,
lifestyle.
babe, you know, I didn't discover alcohol until I moved back from College Station because we didn't really drink when we were out there. I guess because we couldn't get a hold of alcohol unless we went to someone's party or something like that. It wasn't like something that we had in the house, you know. So I didn't really get into like partying until I moved back.
My whole lifestyle was trash
Yeah.
up until recently. I mean, like when I, started slowly trying to get my shit together, trash. And the other day in an episode, I brought up all the antibiotics that I was just taking, like pill popping random antibiotics because of my fucking tonsils.
Mm-hmm.
What that was doing to my gut biome, the little bacteria in your stomach. And then at the same time, I don't know, I'm just trying to make it. I'm in a car. I'm driving somewhere. Fuck it, Whataburger. No disrespect to Whataburger, even though y'all sold out. But like you're eating drive-through and you're just like, I don't know. And like my idea of watching it, like first of all, shout out to Christine. What's her last name? Anderson. At Pose for You for like, even though my girl for the past couple years are like, you just need to stick to one of these menus. I know what I'm telling you. And I'd be like, I was on it for a little while. I didn't really see any change, and you just bounce around.
And it's funny because I would try when he would say, well, if you would do it basically his way, and it was I'd always be
What
like,
was my way?
whatever
like slow carb,
whatever
some shit,
fad
yeah.
you were into at that time, whatever you read on Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out to Tim Ferriss.
Like we know him. And
Yeah.
shit. What's up, Tim?
Let's see the show.
When he would tell me, well, if you tried this, you wouldn't be hungry all the time, and I'd be like, okay. And then I just really feel that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I said, this has worked for me. I said, and I really just feel that Christine knows what she's talking about.
And she
fixed
does.
me. She fixed me, and that was my proof, because I came to her not ready for competition because I was using someone else. And literally in 2 weeks,
She was like, she had to come in like an expert, like a fixer.
yeah, she literally,
Which is a new term, right? All these motherfuckers got fixers. I never knew. Everybody got a fucking fixer on their team. Didn't nobody tell me that's a fucking thing. In our community, we don't have fixers. Anyway, she came in.
She came in, and it was like, I
She's like,
told him,
"All right,
I was
we
like, okay, so I'm
last
going to
minute."
try this. She's like, it's good. I don't know if, she even said,
Like
I
course
don't
correction.
know if this is going to work in time for Branch Warren.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, but let's kick it off. If you're there, then you're good. And my body just went,
Snap back.
and it was like, I woke up one day. I still have that picture. I really need to post it. It was like, I woke up
Like
one
little
morning.
obliques and stuff. And
I said,
I got a little
I've
two-pack.
got abs. No, my
Oh, you
abs
had
are,
them all.
I had them all. And I was like, no way. I went and I put on my bathing suit, and I'm like, I'm taking a picture.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're
I
going to the pool.
Yeah. I was like, I am not forgetting this day.
We're going
You know?
shopping.
It's 50 degrees outside. I
I
don't care.
sent her the picture. I said, I don't know what you fed me. I was like, but thank you.
She's like,
I
it's
said,
on the menu.
I felt
It's
yeah,
just
exactly.
measured.
I felt so confident. Well, my other menu was also
Man.
measured too.
Keyword, what'd you just say? I felt so.
Confident.
It's
I
hard
was
to
like-
put. It's so hard to put a price on that.
And so I just felt like, oh, that's it. Like, I was so worried about that show. I was like, I don't even know. I'm not going to get on stage. There's no way I can look like this and get on stage. Look at everybody, you know? And so it was like, she fixed me. And then I was like, oh, I'm cool. Like,
Shit.
all
Where my
right.
trophy at?
Okay. But I didn't. I placed 6th in that one. It was the second one that I did win a trophy. But,
I'm about to have to go shopping. Like I'm about to start school and shit.
yeah, I did. I bought him a few new workout shirts because the
Well,
other
my tour, my stage outfits, she had to like go down a size.
Yeah.
on a
Nice.
lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff. It was like, and
But
I
then
just,
I'm gonna start, putting on a little muscle too. So you better watch out.
I told him, I said, I've never not liked the
Now
way
that
you
I'm
look.
not on antibiotics.
I told him, I said, but you look amazing. Like, you look great. You look like healthy, like in shape. You can tell he works out. It's not like, oh, he probably does a little bit of
Parties.
working out. But he looks
probably
great.
stays up all night, eats whatever, just kind of
But
whatever.
I feel like he's never been really someone, in my opinion, that has to worry about weight because he's never been like chubby.
Yeah, I've been pretty husky.
Yeah, but
Sloppy.
you weren't like chubby where he's like,
Just
well,
out of-
you had this.
It was
gut
like
hanging,
This is what I picture. I picture like, even though I didn't really look like this is how I picture myself. Pale, mouth breather,
mouth breather.
like
wow.
playing video games, like.
Oh
just-
wow!
Just because I just look back at those days, like even though from the outside it's like, oh man, you got cool jewelry and you got a cool car and you got a cool job, kinda. But it's like, yeah, man. But let's pull up your gut biome,
Yeah.
But he looks great. That's all I'm
Yeah, you
saying. He
guys
looks
look great. You both
amazing,
look
and
great.
I'm really proud of him. And it's funny because all I ever kept telling him is like, if you just would, because Christine, this is not the first time Christine has given him menus.
I had
By the
buku
way,
menus before
he's but he didn't see progress fast enough, as most of my followers on Instagram want to see. Like, you think just because you start
a
something
waist
today,
trainer or a pill,
you
or a
think
tea.
that in 2 weeks you're supposed to see something. No, that's not how it works. Wouldn't it be nice if that's how it worked?
Hell yeah.
Also,
so-
shout out to Sean with his training methods and his
Yeah.
expertise. But it has to go with food. It has to be hand in hand.
And I just told him, I said, if you would just give her a chance to like actually follow her menu for like a whole 2 months, 3 months,
Like,
like
don't
stick
cheat
to
all
it,
the
don't
time.
cheat, like do it. And it would be like, I'm just not following that.
I'm just
Okay,
not a
well.
consistent person right now in my life.
And so he did it, and then this time around, he's like, okay, go ahead and tell her I'm ready for the menu. I said, okay.
Oh wait, is
'Cause
this
you
right
were-
before LA? Or when was it?
No, it was like a little bit before that because you were still doing the carb,
The slow
whatever,
carb.
the slow carb. You were doing
Yeah,
that.
it was like a month before that.
It was like
you
yeah.
got off of it and then inquired about the DEXA and then got the menu.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know this is probably a long episode, but it was, we're about to go to LA. I started learning about these DEXA body scans thanks to Tim Ferriss. It's in his book, 4 Hour Body. And so we got the scan. That's what did it. Because now I'm looking at a 3D fucking color picture. Everything that's red is fat. Everything that's blue is muscle. And then it tells you how much skeleton. Like, I'm looking at it like, oh, wow, okay, I have numbers now. Oh, that's my body fat percentage? Okay, now I can set a goal. I wonder what I would look like at this percentage. Or that's how much I weigh. And then we haven't gone back for the second one. But I want to look.
You're going next week.
Nice.
I want to look at it because when I was so excited when I just got my little file, they printed out and they explained what all the numbers mean. Like, that's how much visceral fat you have. That's fat that's over your organs, and that could be problematic if it gets too high. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is real. Anyway, I was doing, I think, Denver with Jerry Garcia, I believe, and I showed him my little scan. I just flashed it real quick. I was just like, because I didn't want him looking like, damn, bro, how chubby, are you under that? But I was like, hey, man, look, just got the scan, and like red is fat, blue is like muscle. He's like, yeah, you look like Captain America, all that red and blue. I was like, bitch, wait till you see my new one.
Yeah.
Wait to see my new
That's
scan.
cool.
So I can't wait to see, since we got more food on this menu, and so we've been lifting, and so Sean's really been pushing him to really get out of his comfort zone, I feel. Like, he's so,
Oh, yeah.
So he's lifting heavier.
Just doing all types of uncomfortable shit.
Yeah.
Like, today we were doing this, like, box step up, but with a band tied to this thing, so it's, like, pulling you off. So you're having to, like, stabilize, like, go up, step up onto the box while something's pulling you.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah. So shout out to Sean and shout out to Christine. They're both awesome, and I'm so happy that they're part of our team as far as, health wise, and
Can we upload that workout to YouTube?
I did.
Okay, perfect. So I can't wait to go look at those comments. And I know you're subscribed to my YouTube, but tell a friend in case they're not. It's Chingo Bling TV. And we posted an actual example of a workout clip. I'm talking a lot of shit in between the exercises. But my thing is this, man. I'm joking on there about, like, man, we need a Latino action hero. We need more, acting. Where's all of our brown people in Hollywood? And where's our roles and all this bullshit? But on the cool, though, it's kind of like, hey, man, if you want to be, I'm not saying I'm going to be Kevin Hart or The Rock or Mark Wahlberg, but that's something all these dudes got in common. Like, they're not going to let their body get in the way of their job. Sometimes they go a little bit too hard. Like Kevin Hart, I'm like, damn, bro, when do you sleep? But
for real.
But my job is to represent. My job is like, hey, man, when people tell me, Chingo, thank you for representing, I was like, hey, man, somebody got to do it. I look around like that, like somebody got to do it. It can't all just be George Lopez, Fluffy, Michael Pena. I love Fluffy. I know him personally, but I don't know George. I don't know Michael Pena. I'm not saying like personal, nothing bad about them. But what I'm saying is, like, we need more. And even if I have to do it via the internet, even if I never appear in another movie ever fucking again, and it's just all this type of shit, podcasting and fucking stand-up, and I can't complain. I love my job. Thank you guys for listening.
On that note.
Yeah, right. Make sure you get that free Audible trial.
And everybody get some more coochie so y'all can stop being crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, baby.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, man. Shit got me frustrated.
Glad you're not crazy.
Yeah. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of What Did He Said podcast.
Nice. I like it. And she was flexing while she did it.
Join us next week as we discuss Rob's beard. Now I'm just
and
playing.
leave it with a positive note. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself and each other. Have a good week.